Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is October 29th, 2017. My name's Eric Peterson. Joining me today, Mr. Mike Tyson.
Woo! Happy Halloween, Eric! Woo! Hello.
Hi, Mike.
We've got an extremely camp ghost.
Oh, am I gonna haunt you? Am I gonna glitter in your hair while you sleep?
What's all this white stuff? We got Dan Curtis.
Hello. Gay guy.
Is that a horse? Is that a scary horse? Gay guys.
Gay guy. That's
speaking
Jeeves the Wonder Horse.
Speaking of gay guys, Mr. Tom Reagan.
Gay guy.
To be fair, Tom sounded the most like an actual ghost.
Imagine if a ghost came out and gay.
It's a dead horse just covered in glitter.
You're gonna have a fabulous Halloween.
Oh nay.
Hey.
There's just topiaries. I'm doing a show in San Francisco. We're going to get a negative review for that one.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yep.
Damn
Off
it.
to a flying start, gentlemen. Well done.
It took less than 10 seconds. New record.
I don't know. I think we've done 1 second before, to be honest.
Well, yeah, when Tom came in with gay guys.
I just love that episode. If you listen back to it, there's just a pause, and me and Eric are just so baffled by what just happened. And then we both at the same time kind of go, "Gay guys."
It was just pure mistake on my part.
Was it one of those things where as soon as you say, like, come back...
Damn, that went wrong.
I reckon Tom was going to go, good afternoon, and he got confused between that and hey.
Yeah.
So we ended up with gay guy.
My brain just switched over at the last second.
One of the best intros ever. I like it. How is everybody? This is 2 weeks in a row.
Woo, well, for some of us.
Ooh.
Yes, this is the first time we've all been reunited since the live show.
And Dan already died.
Yeah.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, Dan.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
You went full robot there.
Oh, shit.
It's happening again!
Crank it! Am I good now? Am I back? Yes.
I guess.
Yes.
I'm making notes of when Dan goes robot so I know all the places I need to edit.
Excellent.
Obligatory editing joke.
Yes.
Edit Peterson, am I right?
They called me in high
More like
school.
not bother edit Peters. And then break the rest of the factory sealed field Peters. And he's a fucking idiot.
And that was direct.
Ouch, my character. I'm a smart guy. You were saying about us all being on the show together.
Yes, I said this is the first time we've all been reunited since the live show.
Yeah. Welcome back,
This
Tom.
is true.
Yeah, thank you.
How was Toronto?
Canador.
Oh, Canada.
Toronto.
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 Got to make sure to get all those T's.
I actually,
Toronto.
for the flight, I downloaded the Toronto Batman episode.
No, you
Listen.
didn't.
Why?
Oh,
Why
yeah,
did you do that to
shit.
yourself?
And the first 10 minutes is all about the pronunciation of Toronto.
Had you never listened to that show before?
Yeah, but
Oh.
it's been a long old time.
You just had to get in the mood. Like,
I just
what am I
wanted to-
getting into?
I only managed a good 20 minutes of that one before
I
that
didn't.
guy.
I was
I
on
didn't
that
make it all the way
show
through.
and didn't listen to any of it.
Because when I was out there, I met with Jess, and then when we were going through the city, she showed me the place where she met Toronto Batman.
Was it like a back alley filled with syringes?
It was definitely an alley. Didn't see any syringes, but wouldn't surprise me if I saw one.
So it's just an alleyway with a really crooked sign that says Bat Cave.
Another homeless guy who thinks he's Alfred. Stood there with like a tea set.
Mismatch.
Various drug paraphernalia on the tea set.
Then can you shoot him with your pistols like Lara Croft style?
And lock him in a freezer.
Just stuff him in a shopping cart.
That never got old on Tomb Raider 3, where you could actually shoot him and he would put his tray up and then just fall over.
Oh, yeah. So true.
So Toronto.
Video game reference 4 minutes in.
Toronto.
Yeah, I'm disappointed, Dan.
I'm sorry.
You've let us all down.
I'll just leave.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Good, he's gone. Talk shit about him.
But I hear that bus incoming.
Babe, babe.
Oh, God, here it goes.
Babe, babe.
It's a double-decker.
Oh, man. Yes, Toronto, tell us. Enlighten us.
Yeah, Toronto was cool. A very chilled out city. I went to Niagara Falls as well. That was
So you
good.
got to see that sweet land of freedom just on the other side.
Yeah, so the bridge.
Did you hear the faint call of that there Star Spangled Banner?
Better than that, I saw various ships flying the flag on the border. Yeah.
How'd that make you
Eric-
feel?
I just saluted, just stood there. I stopped what I was doing. Kat was trying to speak to me, and I just suddenly ended up in a fixed gaze, looking out over the
everything
horizon.
she said just sounded like the Star Spangled Banner.
Kind of. That mixed with white noise.
Yeah.
Like I just wasn't listening anymore. Just
Eric,
It's
I'm
glorious.
surprised. I'm surprised, right, that Tom wasn't standing by the side of the river and a tiny boat went past with a tiny American flag on it on a cocktail stick.
Oh, man. Quick side note since we're on that, Tom. How many have you found so far?
I would say I found about 25.
Okay.
Oh, 300 or so to go.
25. And Kat's probably found about 10.
Oh, man.
But some of them are in great hiding spots.
So I don't know if we explained this, but the American flags on toothpicks, I left quite a few of them around Tom and Kat's house before I left, since they made the grave mistake of leaving me alone in their flat for like 3 hours before I had to leave.
We keep during the week get these messages on WhatsApp with Tom just going, "Oh, for F's sake!" And like, it's just there's a picture of an American flag. Like one the other day was in a PG tips box.
Yeah, that was last night. Yeah,
And I still think the one on the lampshade is absolute genius.
That's the one that
lampshade.
was directly above your bed, and I positioned it in such a fashion so that you'd lay down and be like, "Oh, my day's over." Fucking flag.
that's exactly what happened. And I didn't tell Kat about it so that she'd have the same reaction.
Oh man, what was her reaction to it?
Exactly the same. Just burst out laughing. Because you're just lying down. Lie down on my bed and then just relax, so shut your eyes, briefly open them, and the first thing you see in front of you is a flag hanging down from my lampshade. And you won't see it in any other angle. You have to be like in my bed.
Did you leave it there?
It's still there now.
Yes.
There's another one that's still there. It's in the corner of... I don't know how you got up there. Either you're just really tall or you stood in a chair.
I'm really tall.
Yeah, I can't reach it. And I can't be bothered to get a chair and get it. So
Their,
it's just gonna
their
stay
freedom's just out of reach.
I'm surprised it took you guys as long to find that one as it did, because I expected that to be the first thing you saw when you came in.
You underestimate how tired Tom was when he got back.
there. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
You look like a train wreck.
I was too tired. I was really optimistic about joining the show last week, but it was just never going to happen. I felt like death.
Oh, it
You
would've
sent
been-
us that photo of yourself. You just look like a crack addict.
Yeah, and I was trying to look better. I was trying to send over
He'd
my
just
best.
been down the alleyway with Toronto Batman just before the flight, I think.
Yeah, but I got to hear a live rendition of the Star Spangled Banner because I went to watch a hockey game.
Oh, how was it?
So I filmed the whole thing.
Yeah, and you sent it to me, and I saluted throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, that was fun.
The size of that flag in there, though, too. Wow.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
And then they played the Canada one after, which I'd never heard before.
Blame
Oh,
Canada.
Yeah, that's what
Blame
it is.
Canada.
Yeah.
It's just
That
"Oh
was good.
Canada" over and over again,
Yeah,
and then it ends with
basically.
"A,"
Then a moose walks past.
And everyone gets drenched in maple syrup.
and then they proceed to get just obnoxiously pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. We got really lucky with the weather as well. I thought it would be freezing cold, but it was actually quite warm up there.
So the real question remains, Tom,
Yeah.
at Niagara Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Did you or did you not straddle it?
I did not straddle it. I know.
Wait, speaking as a fellow Englishman, that's not the most important question. How were the tea and coffee making facilities?
The tea left a lot to be desired.
You could ruin your whole holiday, that.
Yeah.
But
Coffee,
Tim Hortons, whew.
I had Tim Hortons coffee pretty much every day, twice a day.
Were they doing the roll up the rim special while you were there?
I'm not sure. I tried their
Is
famous.
that some kind of euphemism?
Yeah, just roll on up to the butt.
Jeeves, roll up my rim.
I tried their famous double.
Yeah, double
Which I
double.
did. No, I did.
What are you two talking about?
I did not like that. I did not like the
It's
double
just-
double.
Double cream and
Double sugar.
yeah. I just did the double, not
healthy.
the double because fuck sugar in coffee. Anyone who puts
just-
sugar in coffee has
I
a
just-
special
yeah.
place
Yeah. So I
Reserved
had
for
double
them.
cream and
below the crust of the earth.
no sugar.
I just loved when Eric was over here. He's just kicking off about the size of the large cups. Just it's not fucking big enough.
Yeah, and you don't get a free refill.
But Eric, the week before in Niagara Falls, our coach driver told us that an 8-year-old boy was trying to straddle the falls and he fell in.
What?
Yeah.
And died.
No. But
Amateur.
severely injured.
I'm Googling this.
Yeah, but people try it all the time. They try straddling the rail above the falls, which is a really stupid idea.
I don't know. You'd get Eric on there.
Yeah, but I imagine if you did it, Eric, you'd find a rail nearer.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to
the
be a
ground.
moron about it. But
makes a
then
change.
again, the picture we took for straddling the Grand Canyon was probably like 4 feet from the cliff.
Yeah, it was.
So it was close. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but-
Sure enough, October 17th, 10-year-old boy falls over railing at Niagara Falls.
Yeah. And so he was like, "Don't do that. I'm telling you."
you're going to get hurt.
I'll
There's a video of it,
listen to
too.
the Factory Seal podcast, and they had a competition where you have to straddle something, and I just want to win it.
I needed that SNES.
There's a video of it?
I don't know if it's of
At least
him.
he died while he was happy.
He would have won, but he didn't get proper form.
He died doing what he loved, drowning to death.
And there it is.
God.
Are we going for most offensive show we've ever done today? Or what?
It's the will of the people.
Something will of the people.
The show has to evolve to stay alive, Dan.
I know, but at least it was saved back in the day.
I feel like it's devolving.
Well, it's some sort of volving.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, as long as there's volve in there.
Yeah, a bit of Volve. We all like a bit of Volve.
Sorry.
I believe Mike is doing the Pokemon Evolve theme there.
Oh, that was lost on me. I just thought it was something from Willy Wonka.
Willy Volver.
Yes, Willy Volva.
That's what I thought you said.
How do you know I didn't?
Well, oh, good point. Ah,
Tom,
yeah.
anatomy for you is not a strong point, is it?
We were talking about evolve.
imagine if your name was Willy Volve.
We were talking about evolve, then devolve, then some sort of volving, then Willy Volver.
But I said Wonka.
I thought you said, oh, it was a simple mistake. It's a bit like when you thought I said gay guys.
Oh, no, you clearly said gay guys.
Totally
That's
did.
true, but it's not
Wait.
the point.
If it was Willy Vulva, you know, in the film, there's the Wonka wash. Does that mean it becomes the Vulva wash?
That's a very different version of that film.
Do not Google Willy Volva.
Come into
Eric,
the great
don't say that because people Google it.
the great glass vulvavator.
Great glass fulminator.
I
Oh,
googled
no.
it. There's nothing bad. I'm clicking on images.
I googled it as well.
There is an. Yeah, I'm not going there. Nope, done.
Nope, done. Willy worries. Oh, I'll leave that.
Closing that. Delete.
Send me the link, chaps.
Clear history.
Find it on the Facebook page later on.
Burn laptop.
Delete history, burn laptop.
I think Willy Vulva is going to be one of these factory seal characters who lives on.
God. That's my fault, that one.
Well done, Tom.
Did you do anything else fun in Toronto?
Toronto.
Toronto.
I went up that really tall tower, the CN tower,
Oh yeah.
with the glass floor.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You know-
Yeah, I did one of them in Japan. Weird.
Next
Pretty
time you
awesome.
guys come over, we have to do the glass floor at the Grand Canyon.
I would definitely do that. Yeah.
Except it
It was-
costs a damn bomb to get into.
It's about $50, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you got to pay $50 or something to park your car.
On the glass.
Just don't buy a ridiculous chandelier that week and you'll be all right.
I need that chandelier, Dan.
I need it.
I need it in my life.
I'll use it once, but it'll be worth it.
Well, no, I'll use it every night I have dinner, and then be like, "Hey, Alexa, make this room sexy."
Alexa, make the room Mr. Blobby coloured.
So, for reference, Dan is giving me shit for integrating Alexa light bulbs into my house
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
because Dan just got indoor plumbing and electricity. So,
No, we don't have indoor plumbing yet.
he
That's
just
it.
got
Go
them.
to the well.
It's just a book. We have to boil the kettle on the stove and then just sit in a little tub in the sitting room.
There's the local well in Het.
Crystal, there's no paper in the outhouse.
Use your hand.
Wipe with your left hand and eat with your right.
Which one's which?
That's a pretty damn accurate description of
Never
Het, to be
mind.
honest.
I'll use my foot.
Oh.
Do you sit or stand when you're using your foot?
Well, he does like this flamingo thing. Like Dan has really hairy feet, so he'll stand up and like pull his foot up, and he'll stand like a flamingo and just kind of like rock back and forth.
Hey, leave my hairy feet alone. I may be half man, half hobbit, but that is besides the point.
I don't know if it's 50-50. It's probably like 25-75.
Yes.
In favor of hair.
No, in favor of Hobbit.
Oh.
You're all just jealous.
We are.
I can go outside with no shoes on and it won't hurt my feet.
I walk on broken glass. It keeps the intruders away.
I have no need of slippers. It's fantastic.
Do you braid your foot hair?
Yes, of course.
Is that like a regular going out event there?
To many intricate styles.
You go out and compliment each other's foot hairstyle?
All right, you Slick, your foot hairstyle is great. Don't you know who I am? I'll put Ronnie and Pickering on each of my feet.
Here's the problem. How do we get to this shit? We're a video game show.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Should we do just next time? Just do a straight video game show and see how it goes.
Oh, it'll be awful.
Like zero comedy.
Yeah, just this game was a game that had controls.
So this week, Super Mario Odyssey came out, and it was so good.
Segway!
Yeah,
Well, wait a minute. Why are you talking about it, Dan?
I know, right?
Because he just bought it.
Did you go and buy Switch?
Yeah, I got Super Mario Odyssey. I popped it in my Wii U. It didn't work.
Did you go back and complain?
Yes, so I was like, why is this not working in my Wii U? I said, it's not for Wii U.
You
sir.
think
And I
that's
said,
a
well,
joke?
That's bloody ridiculous.
When I worked at GameStop and the PS3 and the Xbox 360 came out, we would legitimately get people that would buy those games and bring them back because they did not work in their Xbox and their PS2.
Oh my god.
Fucking idiots.
Much derp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it parents coming in though saying I bought this for my son or whatever?
Mostly, yeah.
No, I'll
Yeah.
give them a little bit of slack.
Yeah.
But still, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah, there it is.
I bought this game for my son for his Nintendo PS3, Xbox 64.
This shit don't work. I'm a Betamax player. I stuffed it into
I
an
can't
8-track.
wait until those come out, guys.
Does this PlayStation take tapes?
Where's the 8-track
Once we
port?
get electricity, I'm getting that Betamax.
Go for Laserdisc. But yes, anyway, Friday, what a day. Oh, I mean, for some of us it was really good. For others it was expected to be really good and then turned out to be really shit.
Fuck you, game.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your fucking stores and your fucking pre-orders.
And your shitty stores with nobody in
Shitty
them.
stores, yeah.
Mike, why
So-
don't you use Amazon?
Because I had some credit left over on my game account. So I thought,
See,
well,
that's where
I'll
you
use
went
that.
wrong, because at some point you've went into game.
Well, yeah, this is true. But I had like £6 left on my game account. I was like, well, I'm going to pre-order Mario Odyssey. If you pre-order it through game, you also get a free Cappy hat. I was like, well, it's going to be with the money knocked off. It's going to be the same price as it is everywhere else, where it's cheaper because games are more expensive, and I get a hat. And it just didn't fucking turn up. So what I had to do was it's still not here now. I went into town yesterday, went to game and said, look, I've got a pre-order coming from you guys. If I buy a copy today, can I just return the sealed copy with the receipt from the one today? So it's all good. So I ended up buying another copy.
I can't believe you asked.
Well,
He's British.
yeah, exactly.
Sorry to be an
probably
inconvenience
went
and
in
come
and
into your place of
apologised.
business to do business, but do you mind if I do business here?
Well, no, because game are really funny fuckers, and like I didn't want them to like, even though I took a sealed game back, I didn't want them to go, well, we can only give you trade-in value for it.
That's
it
an
wouldn't
accurate
surprise-
depiction of a game employee.
Wouldn't surprise me if they did that.
A more accurate depiction would have been, what the fuck are you doing in here?
Look, everyone gather around. Humans!
A customer! I heard about these ones. Oh, he didn't buy anything.
Then they all just swarm you in a huddle and go, would you like to pre-order some games?
Did
You
they
need your
high-five and
Xbox
close
Live
the-
card!
Did they high five and close the store after you bought something?
Well, that's it. We don't need to be open anymore.
It's like the people that pay for WinRAR on accident.
Sorry to bother you in your place of business. Do you mind if I do business?
Got
To
you
give
with
him
that
some
one,
credit.
didn't I, Tom?
To give them some credit, they actually gave me a copy that was reserved for someone else as well. I
Oh,
was like,
how kind!
have you got any copies of Mario Odyssey left? And they were like, how long is 48 hours? I was like, more than 47,
that
less
guy
than
comes
49.
A guy comes in and then they just give him someone else's reserve copy. And so on.
Oh god.
So someone else is going to go and pick
They
up
are
their
a
reserve copy.
shit company.
And yet they're still opening new stores.
That picture that Hazel posted of you, though, I have never seen an adult that depressed over something so trivial.
Do you know what the worst thing is? Right?
Oh yeah.
I was at work all day looking forward to playing it, and I can't wait to get home. And then, like, on the way home from my last delivery at work, there was 2 accidents on the way home, which added like an extra hour to my day. I was like, oh fuck's sake! Like, add an extra hour to my day. I want to get home. Want to fucking play Mario. Then get home. All that anticipation. All that being late, and it's
on.
not fucking here.
Did you say you want to fuck and play Mario?
Sorry.
I think he said,
I can do both. There's motion controls, so as I'm moving.
oh, yeah. See,
Tom, are you still laughing at that game thing?
I can't deal.
But no, if I ever find out whose fault it is, I didn't get Mario Odyssey on time, right?
See, the opposite
I'm
happened.
going to divorce Hazel. I'm going to find out who their mother is. I'm going to go on a date with their mother. marry their mother, become their father, subsequently become their either current children or future children's grandfather. Then on the first Christmas, we're all together. I'm going to make them think they're going to get all the presents that they want, and they're going to open the presents on Christmas Day, and nothing will be there. If you smell what the Rock is cooking!
Except divorce papers.
Oh, yeah, true.
Mike just sitting in a rocking chair, just cackling.
The inverse happened for me because I ordered mine through Amazon, and typically Amazon will deliver stuff late in the afternoon, like sometimes as late as 8 p.m. This shit showed up at like 9:30 in the morning, and I was at home all day and had just a mountain of shit to do.
Ugh.
So I had it sitting there on my desk, like just out of my peripheral. I'm like, oh, you fucking game! I want to play you so hard right now, but I got to be an adult and I got to work.
You could have put it out of your peripheral vision somewhere else, right? And that probably would have helped.
No, like I used it as incentive to get done with my work faster.
Alexa, dim the light next to Mario Odyssey.
Alexa, remove this game from my periphery. I must conduct some business.
I bought it on Amazon Prime as well, but it came at about 1 p.m. at my workplace. So it just kind of sat in my bag for the rest of the day until
Why'd you have it delivered to work?
Clocked off. Because I didn't want them to try and deliver it at home and then be unsuccessful and it go to the depot. Even though Kat was working from home, I just didn't want to risk it.
Don't trust her to answer the door.
Yeah. No, because our buzzer's broken at the moment. So
Probably a flagging it, mate.
yeah. We've got a flag infestation in the building.
To be fair, if you sent it to that, if it went to that neighbour who you're trying to get a package of all the time we were with you, then you probably wouldn't have got it for about a week.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of other things that I got, real quick side note, I got my Super Nintendo Classic.
Yay!
I'm not excited unless you open it. Like, I have zero excitement levels for you because it's sitting on a shelf.
But it looks so good.
Do you know how it? Do you know it'd look better if it was out of the box?
Nope.
And if it was a Japanese/European one?
No,
Yeah,
that's
true.
sexy North American one.
With those hard edges? No.
Oh yeah.
You got to get the curves, son.
No, I like things to be rough and jagged, toothy.
Garish purple.
Garish. Raw.
It's attractive.
Not quite.
So, do you think you'll ever get it out the box with the NES or not? Probably keep it there.
I found that when I buy something that I don't open, there's a short window.
Of about 10 minutes, and then it remains there forevermore.
If I don't open it, my brain has switched to, maybe I should just keep it sealed.
Okay.
Why?
I think Dan understands.
Hey, Dan, you want to know what else I haven't opened yet?
No.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
I've kind of stopped playing that too, anyway, so...
Oh. Did you not finish it?
No, I kind of got distracted by other stuff. Destiny 2 came out, didn't it? And Eric made me buy it, and then it was shite.
Well,
so I stopped
made is a
playing that.
loose term. Strongly encouraged.
Yes. Didn't shut up until it was purchased.
But why won't that work?
I very much regret it, so thank you, Eric.
Why won't that work with you and a Switch?
Because
You
that
did
is a
okay.
lot
Let's
of
think
money.
about the math here. If you wouldn't have bought Andromeda, if you wouldn't have bought Shadow of War, if you wouldn't have bought Destiny, that's half of the console right there.
No, it isn't.
Oh, the hell it ain't.
It isn't. A Switch would cost me over £300, and that would cost about £100. So it's a third,
No,
I think you'll find.
your math
Yes.
is bad.
No, it isn't. The games are about £40 each. So, and I paid less for Destiny. It was 32. Mass Effect Andromeda was 25. Shadow of War was 40.
So what other games have you bought in the past 6 months that you
That's
could
it,
not
really.
have bought?
Silent Hill 3.
Yeah, there's £6.
Yeah. I haven't actually bought many games recently.
Oh,
No.
Save it up
didn't
for
have
the
to come
Switch.
to London.
Yeah, I know, right?
Sorry, guys.
I think the last game I bought before that was Final Fantasy 12.
Ooh,
Did you both finish that?
no.
I got really close to the end and stopped.
I got about 5 to 6 hours farther than I normally get.
Well done.
Progress. In about 20 years,
We
I'll
need
be
to
at
do
the
it
end.
for the show, so we're forced to finish it.
I would like to do it for the show sometime.
Yeah.
We should probably do 9 and 10 first, though.
Yes.
Oh man,
Because we've done 6, 7,
9.
and 8. Let's talk about Mario, guys. Mario.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes!
oh, Dan, this is where
Yes!
you get really, really jealous.
Yeah, I'm just going to stop this now.
Oh God. When I got that package and opened it, and
It's quite good.
it felt like I was 10 all over again. Like, I've not been this excited for a game in a long time. I was excited for Breath of the Wild, but I was genuinely thrilled for Mario.
How erect were the nipples?
Well, they were actually my second and third penis at that point.
Ooh. Nice.
So erect, he used them to break the seal on the game.
I'm surprised.
Rubbed it
I'm
across.
surprised he opened it. To be honest. So,
Just imagine sliding the side of the case along your chest.
now, has anybody tasted the cartridge?
Oh, no, I didn't. Shit.
It tastes the same.
It tastes the same as the other.
Yeah, it's the
Cartridges.
same standard coating.
They don't give them different flavours. There's not like cheese and onion, salt and vinegar.
There should be.
There should be, though.
This one isn't dill pickle, that's for sure. Oh, I also got all 3 of the amiibos that were released for this.
Nice.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
think I
cool.
wanted to, but I was at a store called Fry's Electronics, and they had all of them. I'm like, I thought these were supposed to be kind of hard to find. Come to find out, they are, because from what I hear, most people are just finding the Mario and not the Bowser and Peach one.
God, make sure you don't open them.
I haven't. They're on my
They'll
shelf
be worth
already.
a fortune when you never sell them.
Can you use them whilst they're in the box?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. Well, no, you can't in the box because they put a foil under there. The only one I know of that's been released that you can use inside the box is Shovel Knight, and that was intentionally.
You've probably tried this.
I did. Well, there are some people too that are like, hey, if you want to keep your amiibos in the box, there's a hack where you basically cut the bottom of it just slight enough to reach in and grab that foil out. Like, well, then it's not technically factory sealed anymore.
Can't you get like bootleg cards which have the same functionality as well?
Yeah. Yep. RF cards or NFC cards.
Nice.
Where did
But
that
yeah.
horn come from?
Is that your package, Mike?
Was that? That's from outside my flat.
Oh, for God's sake, Tom. We just named some sirens now.
Just get your pinkies up when you hear that siren.
So anyway, Mario Odyssey.
Guys, I'm in love with this game.
I am too.
It is so good.
I'm sure I would be too.
I do have some frustrations. Before we actually talk about the game itself, I have some pretty massive frustrations, and it's on a hardware front and not the game front.
Yeah.
I still had... So there's 3 styles of controls. You have split Joy-Con, you have Pro Controller, and then you have handheld mode. And they are, in that same order, the best to play. So split Joy-Con's the best. Pro Controller is really good, but you miss out on some functionality, and then handheld mode is just garbage. So
Well, even at the beginning, don't they? They recommend you use the split Joy-Cons. Like straight away, it comes up saying, "Why not try split Joy-Cons?"
why not try it in assisted mode?
Nope.
Dan mode. So I still have my...
I'm not rising to it. I'm not rising.
Not rising to it.
So I got my Switch at launch, and it had one of the infamous left Joy-Cons that would desync. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it won't have that many issues with it, because I know the controllers just got updated. I knew that wasn't going to fix it, but maybe something changed. Unplayable. Just physically could not play it. Joy-Con would desync every 15 seconds, and Mario would just run off on his own. So I played the first couple hours in Pro Controller mode, which was great. But if you go into the action guide, it shows you which motion controls are only available with split Joy-Con. So you're missing out on a whole slew of controls by playing in handheld or Pro Controller mode. So I went to Target and I bought another set of Joy-Cons, thinking, great, this is going to be awesome. This will totally fix it. Get it home, start playing with it. Fucking right Joy-Con doesn't work.
Really?
Yeah, it's the strangest thing. So I started reading about it, and it's actually another known issue where it would be random button presses, unresponsive buttons, or the camera, the joystick would just kind of like lurch around and do its own movement. So I'm driving around one of the tanks trying to aim it, and you can use the motion controls to aim it, but if you're using the joystick, it'll override the motion controls. But since it was like patchy connection, it was switching really quickly between joystick and motion controls, so it was just lurching all over the place. Totally
Is this specific
unplayable.
to? You said you read up on it. Is this specific to Mario or in general?
No, just there are right Joy-Con issues as well with unresponsive buttons, like random button presses. So I'd be running around trying to jump with Mario, and he just wouldn't be doing anything.
Is your console not still under warranty?
Well, the console's fine. It's the controllers that have the issue.
Yeah, but surely you could take it back and then swap the controllers rather than spending $80 on new ones.
Well, the plan is buy the controllers, put the old broken ones in, and return them.
Or you could have just took them back in the first place and swapped them for some new ones.
Well, that would... No, you have to send them out to Nintendo to get fixed, and I didn't want to be without them.
But surely if it's under warranty from the person you bought it from, they would swap them.
No.
Well, that is what warranty is.
No.
I mean, well, it is.
It's
That is what warranty is.
It's a factory it's the manufacturer warranty, not the store warranty. The store only allows you like 15 days to return it.
That's not very generous.
No. Best Buy had to start doing that because people were returning shit way, way far
And
down the
you
road.
say it's the country of freedom.
I bet Game would have taken them back.
So what I'm going to try today is I'm going to try my old right Joy-Con with the new left Joy-Con, and if that works, then just return the busted pair.
Yeah. It's the first time I've played a game on the Switch properly with split Joy-Con.
It takes a minute to get used to.
It took me only a few minutes, and then I was straight into it. It just, everything makes so much sense. It's very intuitive. I
I
feel.
found that with the Wii remote back in the day, though, when you first had the nunchuck with the Wii remote, I was like, this kind of just feels right.
It was interesting with the Mario Galaxy games. Like, you had to sit in a specific style because of the motion controls. And I found myself, as soon as I flipped into split Joy-Con mode, like just lounging in the goofiest positions, like one hand on the back of the couch and the other one like tucked up like a little T-Rex claw playing a game, just whatever was comfortable. And then I'd try to do motion controls and like, I got to sit up now.
Oh,
See, this is the first 3D Mario game I've played since Mario 64.
Ooh.
So,
wait, have you never played Galaxy?
nope.
No
idea.
Missing out.
No idea. I do not know what I'm missing.
So this is important because Zach Foley posted...
Pinkies up!
Siren! Pinkies! Pinkies!
Oh, God.
Zach Foley posted something on the page about...
Is everybody actually doing it, by the way? 'Cause this is why we need the webcams on, guys.
Let's see, I wanted to find it. Zach Foley posted something about Mario Odyssey is now officially the best rated game of all time from Game Rankings, which puts it at 98.79%. The one prior to that was Mario Galaxy.
Wow.
And then
wow.
I
Ocarina
thought
of
it would be
Time.
Breath of the Wild.
Then Ocarina of Time. Then Mario Galaxy 2.
Oh, my God.
Then Breath of the
Nintendo make
Wild.
them good games, don't they?
Yeah.
What, like, somebody I saw in a comment forum somewhere posted, like, what kind of year has there been when there's been a launch console which has 2 Game of the Year contenders?
And Nintendo's fighting themselves for Game of the Year. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's mad.
That is crazy.
This resurgence of Nintendo is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
They seem to finally be paying
compared to
attention.
compared to the Wii U, there's such a different vibe. Like,
Yeah.
people actually want this. And like,
Oh, yeah.
I think the Wii
Like
U
when I saw like when Mike had it down in London, I wanted to play on it and things, but I will get one, just not right now.
It's when I was at Comic-Con yesterday, Nintendo had this whole area, and everyone's just sat on the floor in circles playing Switch, playing Mario Kart, playing Pokken Tournament, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Snipperclips, like just loads of co-op and versus going on, and everyone's wearing the cappies and stuff, and there's just this huge buzz around it, and everyone's excited about Nintendo at the moment. It's a cool time for them.
I'm glad they came out from the failure that was the Wii U, but I think the Wii U is a good stepping point for them to test pilot this, playing games on a handheld console that's that big.
I mean, I used to like playing on handheld on the Wii U. It was fine. It was pretty good.
Yeah, but being tethered to another console connected to a power source somewhere was a bit cumbersome.
Yeah, it was, but like you say, it's a stepping stone, isn't it? So
Yeah.
The thing is as well, the Switch, it feels like a really quality piece of hardware. I mean, not knocking the Wii U. I mean, I loved playing games on the Wii U. I mean, a lot of people don't like it, but I enjoyed playing on the gamepad. And I mean, the Pro Controller was better, but the gamepad, nothing wrong with it. But it did feel like a toy. It felt cheap and like a toy.
Yeah, like if you're going to drop it, the plastic would crack.
Yeah, and the Switch, like I said, just it feels like an actual quality piece of hardware, and I think
the one thing that I have
with that.
noticed a bit now playing a few hours in split Joy-Con mode is people with larger hands, the Joy-Con isn't as comfortable. It is a bit small.
Did you not put your grips on?
I did.
Yeah, I'm playing without the grip. I find it more comfortable without the grips.
I meant like
Yeah,
from
I'm not
top
using
to
the
bottom,
grips.
the length of the controller. It sits okay, like nudged into the palm of my hand, but the gap between the joysticks and the buttons sometimes can be a bit too short, so you're kind of tripping over the joystick.
Yeah, I kind of see what you mean.
But aside from that, Mario itself,
It
What?
just oozes charm from the beginning. I mean, Mario games normally do, but seriously, from the very beginning, I mean, the very first part where you're controlling Mario, it's almost like a bit of a tutorial. I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone, so don't worry. It almost has like an almost... It's all right. It almost has a sort of Nightmare Before Christmas sort of
Pinkies up!
vibe to it. Pinkies up! Yeah, it's like Nightmare Before Christmas sort of vibe to it. And I've just... Immediately, I was like,
Pinky's
wow.
still up?
guys, are we sure that Tom isn't actually Lord Voldemort?
Oh God.
They're still searching for him.
Sorry,
Do more
Mike,
work
go
for
ahead.
me, and I won't pay you.
I'd finished, I think.
I don't know what you said.
Oh,
Oh, you said it had like a Nightmare Before Christmas kind of feel to it. the
in that first tutorial bit.
Yeah, definitely. It's like kind of monochrome.
So I wanted
monochrome-y,
to
isn't it?
ask you guys your opinion on this. Reading through a lot of the reviews, which have mostly been perfect scores, and then subsequently the comments afterwards, the one thing that I find people bitching about that I don't understand why is that everybody is complaining about the reused trope of Bowser capturing Peach.
Because it's the internet.
That's a Mario game. They're bitching about a Mario game being a Mario game.
That's a really
I don't understand.
strange thing to bitch
Nobody
about.
plays Mario for the story, do they? I mean, come on.
Well, I think it's these... I'm going to refrain from using the term I want to use, but I think it's people that are just
Wankers is the
on
word
this
you're looking for.
this push of let's change everything instead of appreciating something for what it was, and they're reading more into what it actually is than a game, and they're trying to make a bigger deal out of it than it really is. It's what Mario is. Bowser always captures Peach, and you have to save her. And they're like, we're tired of this trope. Like, then don't play a Mario game.
Yeah. You got to know what you're expecting.
It'd
when
be
you
like
play
playing Mega
a
Man and
classic
not
game.
going to fight Dr. Wily or somebody creating robots to destroy the world.
I was playing So Nice the Hedgepig and not facing against a Robotnik.
Yeah. I found that something really... I found it weird for them to single that thing out. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I want
I
to play a
think you're-
Mario game.
Yeah,
I think they're all up in
you're
arms
probably-
about the damsel in distress and she's a helpless woman and things like that, and they're just making more of a big deal out of it than it really is.
She has a gun in Mario Rabbids, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's fine. She's also a character in Super Mario RPG.
I would honestly, though, like to see
Oh, yeah.
a Nintendo game with Peach at the forefront.
There is one. It's on the DS.
Yeah.
What's that?
I will get the exact name.
Oh,
of it. Hang on.
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Princess Peach supermodel.
Is it?
No.
It's not Supermodel.
Princess.
Super Princess Peach.
Yeah, that's the one.
Is it good?
I've never played it.
Oh. Interesting.
I mean, like a proper full-on game on a console. I think that, I mean, she's a
It's
strong
over 10
enough
years old. We
character.
could play it.
Let me take
Yeah,
a
it's over
Yeah.
10 years old. We could play it on the show.
Yeah,
I'd be down with that.
we should.
I'm not buying it from Amazon. £61.
Ooh. That must be a right rare game.
a right rare game.
It's right rare, that one.
But other than your your own controller issues, Eric, when it was working properly, how did you feel about the motion controls? Because for me, it all felt so intuitive. Nothing seems weird. Like sometimes back in the Wii days, they'd say, "Oh, you need to do this," and it didn't feel like that's what you should be doing. Whereas this, every single thing that you do feels right. They've really thought about it.
I found myself immediately reverting back to Mario Galaxy, where you could jump, wall kick, and then shake the nunchuck to jump up even higher, and it still works doing all of that same type of stuff. I like how you can combine a bunch of the different moves. So he still has like his standard long jump, but then if you get really good with the controls, you can long jump, you can throw Cappy, and then dive forward off of Cappy, and then dive again to just clear massive gorges.
Yeah, I've not got that down to a T yet, but
I haven't quite nailed that one.
I saw a video on it. I'm like, I got to practice this, and man, it comes in handy. Plus, if you do the wall jump and then jump out and throw Cappy back towards the wall, you can jump on it and get even higher.
Nice.
So you're kind of limited by your own creativity and how you want to get around. But I like how they have. There's a lot of verticality within the levels. And the motion controls make it really cool to try to manipulate your way around there. And like we were talking about with Mario 64, the number of animations that they've given Mario in this is just incredible.
Yes, he shivers and stuff in the desert environment, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, like I told you guys yesterday, if you're in the desert world and you run into a cactus, he gets little cactus needles stuck in his nose for a while and his nose turns red.
Aw. Poor Mario.
Just cool little shit like that. It's such a fun game. And the music, too, that's the one thing that I've always liked about Mario games is a lot of video games, music just kind of takes a back seat to it, and it just adds a little bit to it. But like the music in here actually becomes almost like a character, and it just builds this. It helps build this world around you.
I love the music in the Wood Kingdom, especially if anyone's got there.
Christy and I were trying to figure out if any of the songs were recreations or homages to previous Mario games. Because we were in the Lake Kingdom, and she was convinced that there were subtle undertones of Dire Dire Docks in there.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was. I mean, they do have a tendency to do that.
What do you guys think about the new structure of the game? Because this one is vastly different.
I was just going to say that, like, how does it feel compared to Mario 64? Because is this more open world?
Yes and no.
Actually, it's to me, I mean, I've not played the games between 64 and this one, but it feels like Mario 64 in the sense of you're put into a world and you've got this, like, sandbox to explore. It's like yes and no to it being open world, essentially.
The way you could compare it to 64 is imagine being able to drop into any of the paintings and collect all of the stars in one go without having to be kicked out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. The fact that you can pick up them. Because it gives you an actual objective moon to get, doesn't it? And then you'll just stumble upon other ones.
Yeah.
So does it feel like you're exploring more?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So,
yeah,
like, kind of how Breath of the Wild was.
But what's interesting is kind of the structure of the game is you've got I don't know how many kingdoms there are, but you go from kingdom to kingdom chasing Bowser's minions. When you get there, that's your goal, is to go fight them. But to do that, well, once you get them, you have to still collect a bunch of other power moons to level up your Odyssey to go to the next kingdom. And it's anywhere from like 7 to 10 or maybe 15 power moons that are needed to level up the ship to go on. But if you go into the menu and look at the list of power moons for that level, there can be like 60 or 70 power moons in that level, but you cannot get all of them on your first visit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure for each kingdom so far I've collected a third or perhaps less.
So are there upgrades then?
That's what I'm wondering and I've been actively avoiding reading anything about this. When you get to the end of the game, surely something happens where you can go back through and collect the rest of the power moons.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So it kind of encourages
I believe
you to
there
click
is
through.
an end game, yes.
Yeah.
So.
Do you guys know how many stars there is? Because I do.
880?
880. Sorry, not stars, moons. 880 to
Coins?
collect.
Wow.
Rings?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And so far, I've probably put 5 hours into it, and I've only got 45.
How's the possession mechanic?
Awesome.
Oh, it's so good.
I kind of forget it's there from time to time.
Yeah, I was wondering how often you would actually use it.
You use
Imagine
it
the time.
constantly.
Use it a lot. You have to use it.
Without spoiling too much, my favorite so far is the Goomba Tower.
I've not done that yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Goomba Tower's cool.
Now,
So-
this isn't a spoiler because it was in the trailer, but I was surprised at how early you got the T-Rex.
Oh, yeah.
Considering it was a big thing on the trailer, and it's quite soon into the
It's
game.
like immediate.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
It's a T-Rex. It makes a good impression if it's the first possession.
I like the little stretchy caterpillars that you
I
can
forgot
be.
about that. There was
I
a
don't
bunch
know
of
the name.
moons in that kingdom that I couldn't reach, and then I'm like, well, I haven't tried capturing this thing yet. And then they turn into these little accordions that can help you stretch
Yeah.
long gaps. But as you stretch them out, they make this really obnoxious accordion sound.
Yeah. But it's cool because if you only move... Each time you move them, it plays the next note
Yep.
in the sound. And then as they retract, it plays the same notes in reverse. But it's just that little detail of it. Of you
And
not
there are
always
some
having to play.
there are some enemies that you can't capture, but they'll still react to your cap. There's enemies that you have to throw your cap at, and then they catch it and start blinking, and then they'll run at you and explode, and you have to utilize them to blow up blocks and stuff that are in your way.
That contain moons or something.
Yeah.
Like one creature, you throw the cap at him and he'll actually just throw the cap right back at you. So if you're hiding near like a crate and you stand behind that crate, it'll smash the crate and you can get the moons in there.
What do you guys think of the swimming mechanic? Because that has drastically changed.
I've not done any swimming yet.
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, again, you can only compare to Mario 64.
So in this
how has
one,
it changed since the previous ones?
Mario 64, the second you hit the water, you're swimming on the surface, or you dive down and you're swimming in full 360. Here, you're swimming on the surface, and then you have to press left trigger, and he'll start to sink, and he'll just sink all the way to the bottom and walk along the bottom. And if you want to swim, you're tapping B, and he just swims up and then gradually sinks back down. So you're not actually controlling him swimming up or down or turning and all of that like you were in 64.
Yeah,
I think it's
I love
way
it.
better.
It's very intuitive. I because the water level, you can either choose to play that one first or choose another one. You come to kind of a fork in the road, and I purposefully avoided doing the Lake Kingdom at first because I always hate water levels in games.
Same thing for me.
Yeah, but actually playing it has been a blast. So
Yeah, I really
absolutely nailed
the
it.
thing I like about, I don't remember which one of you said this, but I really enjoy how you can just stumble upon random areas that are just teeming with things to do. Like the desert, you're in the town and you come up over a sand dune and there's a whole other section of puzzles to go through, and then you come across a different sand dune and there's a whole other section. Or in the woods, you fall off the edge and you're like, well, shit, I died. Nope, just kidding. There's a whole world down here.
Yeah, exactly. You can easily come across these random areas and forget what your main objective actually was. It's really cool. I love that.
It keeps the exploration fresh because some of the power moons are stupidly easy to find. Like, hey, stomp on the ground right here and you'll find one. Or go and solve this really intricate maze.
Yeah.
What about the costumes? Do you guys like that addition?
I was stuck with the the swimming costume for ages at one point
I
because I
love
couldn't
that
find
one.
a way to change it.
You know,
And
you
then
can
I
just
was-
go back into the Odyssey at any time and go to the closet and change.
I did not know that.
Or if you go into any of the shops that sell caps, you can just select the closet in there and change.
Huh. No, I did not. You know you could do that. I
Yeah.
thought you had to go to a shop,
No.
and at the point I was in the game I couldn't do that. But yeah, it's cool. And then I think that the first thing I did was bought a sombrero.
It's the goofiest feature in the game, but it just adds another little piece of life to it. Like the first outfit
Yeah.
I bought, you just look like some sort of purple and yellow casino pimp running around with this obnoxious hat on.
But do you know what I like is that those items of clothing and those costumes are bought with. So there's coins and then there's currency that can only be spent in.
Don't you mean
in
rings?
the kingdom. And you can use that in-game currency to buy those costumes. So there's no DLC to buy.
And there's a
cosmetic.
finite amount of kingdom currency in each level. There's 100
That's
of
it.
each.
Yeah, kingdom currency.
Have you started buying the stickers in all the kingdoms to put on your Odyssey?
No, I didn't know you could do that.
Oh yeah, they're like bumper stickers. So you go into the store each kingdom, and you can buy that kingdom sticker. And then the next time you go to your Odyssey, it's just plastered on the side of it, like I've been here.
I'm gonna have to go back and do that.
Yeah, it's really
That is
cool.
so cool.
But I like mixing and matching the costumes too. You get like a top hat with your flippers and your swim ring, and just running around looking goofy as hell.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome.
But the costumes actually do have an effect. There are certain NPCs within the level who will only interact with you if you're wearing a certain outfit.
Yeah, so I think on part of the water level, I couldn't go any further unless I was in a swimming costume with goggles.
Yeah, I just made it to New Donk City, and somebody wouldn't let me into a building unless I looked like a construction worker.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am in
Yeah.
the game at the moment.
New Donk City is awesome.
Yeah,
What a cool addition.
that's like, I remember when I first saw New Donk City in the trailers, and I was just really unsure about the whole thing. But then,
Well, I thought the whole game was going to take place in the world like that.
yeah, which is just really weird seeing Mario with all these humans.
He's definitely disproportional.
Yeah.
So, Mike,
Is that
how much?
ever explained, or is it just...
It's just one of the kingdoms. It's called Metro Kingdom.
Yeah.
But, Mike, how much did you actually get to play?
I'm still in the desert at the moment, but I've spent ages in there just searching for moons and moons and moons and more moons.
Moons and moons.
Yeah, but I haven't reached the boss on it yet.
Okay.
I keep getting distracted. I keep seeing things in the distance. And go, oh, I'm gonna go look at there. There's another moon.
Shiny.
It's so easily done.
Skyrim mode, in other words.
It's one of those games that it's just a blast to pop on and play for 15, 20 minutes because you know you're going to find something.
Exactly. I mean, I'm still just plunged deep into Breath of the Wild, so I don't want to neglect that for Mario. But Mario will be one of those games that I will dip in and out of all the time.
So I came into this knowing that as it stands right now, Breath of the Wild is probably going to be my game of the year because it's one of the best games I've ever played. I don't know if Mario is going to usurp that for me.
Ooh, well, mine has always been Horizon so far, and if there was anything that was going to top it, it could be Mario.
That's because you haven't played Persona 5, guys.
Oh, shit, son.
Persona.
Maybe
So,
if you didn't buy
honestly,
that, you'd
even-
have enough money for a Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop buying groceries.
You don't need to eat.
Don't go to Australia.
Yeah, cancel it. I'll get all that money back.
Crystal buy a Switch.
I'll buy 3 Switches. Then I'll buy me a chandelier for my kitchen.
And I'm using the joint account.
Yeah. Deal with it. Wait, come back, Crystal. Come back.
Nah. No, but honestly, Persona 5 is still my game of the year, even with Breath of the Wild.
Well, you haven't played Mario yet.
I know. But that will be next year for me. So.
Oh. Dan Curtis, 1 year behind.
Yep.
Anything else you guys want to chatter about with Mario? I don't want to spoil it for too many people simply because it's still so new.
Yeah,
I think-
I've been fairly quiet because I'm trying to avoid saying anything that spoils anything for anyone.
I don't think we've said anything that spoils anything, but
I
nothing
think,
that they
yeah.
haven't seen in trailers.
No, there's a lot
Trailers.
more I could say, but at this stage, it is a fantastic game and totally worth all the praise it's getting.
It's really made me want to play Mario Galaxy again.
But it's made me want to buy a Wii and buy Mario Galaxy
Yeah.
because I feel like I'm missing out.
I'd be surprised if they don't release that.
Oh,
on
the other
Switch.
thing that happened
Yeah.
is the Switch got an update to support GameCube controllers. Did you guys see that?
Did it?
Yes, I did.
So the GameCube adapter for the Wii U, you can now use GameCube controllers on the Switch. So that led people down one of two paths. Either Smash Brothers is coming, or they're adding GameCube games to the supposed incoming Virtual Console. Which, if either
However-
happens... What's that?
However, did you see the recent comments from Big Reg?
No.
Nintendo America.
His body
He-
is Reggie.
Big Reg said that basically the GameCube adapter, Sorry, I'll retract a little bit. Basically, the update allowed the Switch to support third-party peripherals. I'll get my words right. And basically,
Have you been to the Dan Curtis School of Speaking?
Put your teeth
I
in.
have indeed. Put your teeth in, man.
Brilliant.
It was actually a surprise to them that the GameCube Wii U adapter worked. They didn't realize it would work.
Oh. So it wasn't
that-
intentional.
No, that was from Big Reg himself.
Shit. Well, that could just be Nintendo
Maybe
throwing
nobody
a
told
red
Reg.
herring out there.
What was that, Dan?
Maybe nobody told Big Rich.
Has anyone told Big Reg?
Get his body ready.
Didn't get the memo.
But yeah, basically the update was it made third-party peripheral support, and it actually surprised Nintendo that it worked.
I just imagine Reggie to be at home, like playing on Wii Fit, balanced on his side with one arm up in the air when he gets the news, just like, what? GameCube support? My body was not ready for this.
On that note, though, I do hope that Nintendo really pays attention to what people want, because they clearly didn't do that with the Wii U, and they seem to be doing it this time around. They're back on track with having an actual hit home console with fantastic games. I would say that in the past 3 months, I've played my Switch twice as much as my PS4.
Well, I said to you,
Yeah.
was it yesterday? Like, if the games keep coming out for it, I can see it could be my number one console, I think.
I don't think that if there was ever a game that came out on both PS4 and Switch and was like a AAA title, I'd choose the Switch.
Yeah.
But if it's an indie game, I'm going to probably err on the side of the Switch because it gives me that portability of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what's so appealing about it, isn't it? Like, just if your other half's watching the TV or something, just sit and play on the game.
Yeah.
It's just...
The one thing I
It
do...
still baffles me that you can get a home console experience on a portable.
The other thing that I really want to get, though, is another dock so I can have one in the bedroom upstairs so I don't need to worry about, like, oh, let's unhook this and carry it upstairs so you can just seamlessly drop it. But
God, you are so lazy.
We have 2 docks as well, but we only use...
but you have
the
2
one.
consoles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you? Oh,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Because Kat has a Switch.
Dan, it's not about being lazy. It's that my entertainment center is intricately wired so it looks clean. And if I want to move that shit upstairs, I need to undo all of that.
Yeah, I'm with Eric on this one.
Lazy.
Now, if I can get Alexa to do it for me. Alexa, turn the kitchen to purple and move the Switch dock.
I mean, the one thing I will
That's
say,
the
I mean,
dream.
we're bigging up the Switch here, and obviously we're ripping on Dan for not having one, but if there is anyone listening and you have the cash available and you're umming and ahhing about getting a Switch, honestly, just get one.
Oh, yeah.
If you have the funds available, they are the tits.
The only other console I've ever felt that way about is the 3DS. Anyone who doesn't own a 3DS and is interested in it just needs to buy one.
See, I've got a 3DS. I don't use it very much.
Oh, Dan. Well, you probably have one of the original 3DSs, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need one of the XLs. Speaking of which...
I don't like upgrading a console when it's
Oh,
a
man.
console.
Then you're not going to like me because I ordered another 3DS. It'll
How
be
many have you got now?
This will be my third.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I was super jealous when Japan and Europe got the SNES 3DS XL, new 3DS XL.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I'd do that with the North American one because the North American one's just sexier and I like the colors better and something about my childhood and things and stuff. Well, Amazon had it on the front page last week, exclusive to Amazon, the North American 3DS, with a download code for SNES Mario Kart.
It looks horrible, Eric.
Ordered it.
It looks horrible.
Mike, you're shitting on my childhood.
Keep going, Mike. Well done.
I'm just going to look at pictures of it right now.
Yeah, and I bet you vomit profusely.
No way.
Speaking of vomit profusely, should we talk about Silent Hill 3?
I just drooled. myself.
Are we done?
Quite.
God.
I thought you said
Good
Silent
God.
Hill. I don't think people are going to have to guess what we think about this game. I mean, I'm going to preface this with it's not quite Goof Troop level of fart noise, but
Mike, shut the hell up.
this game is hot rabbit pie farts.
No, we don't want them. My eyes are still burning to this day.
But no, in all seriousness, to address Dan's segue, yes, this game of the week for Halloween 3 years in a row is Silent Hill 3. Not that we played this 3 years in a row, but you get it, Silent Hill 3 years
I've
in a
been
row.
doing this shit for 3 years.
I've been doing this shit for 5.
Wow.
Over 5.
That's depressing.
By Dan.
Before we start, can we play a different horror series next year?
100%.
Thank you.
Yes. 100%. I've always been a really big advocate of Silent Hill. Loved 1 and 2. Some of my favorite horror games of all time. This has made me question myself.
Well, that's not your fault.
Well, as everybody knows, I'm not good with horror games, but my god, this one is not scary in the slightest.
No. Not even remotely scary. Well,
nothing about it scared me. Cause it took me a while to get back in the groove because I was like, surely something's going to be freaky about this, but it's just not.
so I was telling you guys that with I don't know how we're going to address this game. It's just going to be a conversation, I guess, is what we decided how we're going to do these from now on. But I have one very vivid memory of this game actually being unnerving, and it's the room a couple hours in, I guess, depending on how long you're playing. Not by the game clock, which I want to talk about later, I think is broken. The mannequin room, where you walk in and there's a mannequin, and then you walk around the back, grab something, you hear a scream, and you come back and the mannequin's head is on the ground covered in blood. That unnerved me, but it just left a vivid impression on me. Whenever I think of Silent Hill 3, I think of that room. Well, I know the beginning portion really well, like the tutorial, and then I know nothing between there and the mannequin room. I had zero recollection of this game. None whatsoever. So I don't know.
Probably your mind trying to block it out.
I mean, it clearly has to be.
Pinkies up!
I'm still doing it.
I can't
This is
believe you
mental.
heard that.
So the game itself, story-wise, let's at least give some
Pinkies
context.
up!
Jesus, Tom. You're like the new Aaron with his dogs.
I'll have to have the door open. It's too hot.
You know what a fan is, right?
Yeah, but the microphone would pick it up.
I have a fan under my desk, blowing up my nether bits.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite. That's interesting.
Smarter, not harder, Tom.
Tom, speak for it. Let's move on. Thank you.
So you play as Heather, and
Mason.
shut up, Tom! Don't ruin it yet. You didn't even play this. You don't get to reveal that. Oh, I'm editing that out.
Editing.
Publish. You play as Heather. She's in a mall and falls asleep at a burger shop and goes into this just wretched nightmare at a theme park. And you can kind of explore around, not really do anything, but as soon as you die, you wake up from the nightmare and you're like, oh man, I gotta go take a shit. So she goes to the bathroom and she's followed by this creepy dude who's like, hey, Heather, I just want to talk to you. And she's like, no, get away from me, old man. She goes in, takes her dump, climbs out the window, and then everybody's gone in the mall. And
Can I just say something about the detective guy?
he didn't have pants on.
So when I booted up my PS2, I found that I still had the save from where I'd completed Silent Hill 3 before. So I had a New Game Plus, or as it's called in this, extra new game. And when you play through the extra new game, if you put the Konami code in beforehand, Douglas isn't wearing trousers or a shirt. So he's just got boxer shorts, he's got his socks, he's got his shoes, he's still got his jacket on and his tie, but no shirt under that.
And no pants.
So just no trousers. Every time you talk to him, you're trying to be serious. He's just stood there. And there's a bit later on where he's got an injured leg and he's sat on a bench and his legs are just splayed. He's just there in his boxer shorts, just laid back, oh, I think my leg's broken.
Definitely not scary.
No.
Didn't Heather have a different outfit for you too?
Yeah, so to unlock different outfits, basically when you complete it, you get different codes to put into this new option on the menus on the title screen, and depending what you put in, you get different outfits. So all the way through, I was wearing this one. If you put Princess Heart in, she wears a almost sort of Sailor Moon outfit with these big colourful ear muffs and antenna that glow.
Did you
again not scary at all?
Did you have the Heather beam with that too?
No.
Oh.
You have to, over several playthroughs, you have to kill a certain amount of enemies to get that.
Because that weapon seems awesome. Basically, she's like Cyclops and just shoots lasers out of her eyes.
Yeah, and I think you need that to get the joke ending as well.
But you essentially cheated.
Yep.
On this playthrough.
Yep.
Unlimited
I'm proud.
bullet submachine gun.
So yeah, because of the extra new game, I got a submachine gun.
Yeah. I mean, I
And
guess
you say I
I guess you
cheated.
earned it.
It was a reward for playing through this hot pile of garbage before.
Oh, God, and what a hot pile of garbage it is. So, to address what you spend 90% of your time in this game doing, it's checking locked doors. Everything is locked. Whereas in Silent Hill 1 and 2, it wasn't that bothersome because there were an equal amount of unlocked doors. But the ratio here is for every 100 doors that you come across, one is unlocked.
They like doors in this game as well, don't they? There's a lot of them.
Well, and they put you in these environments where there's just naturally going to be dozens and dozens and dozens of doors. So you're in this mall with these creatures that really aren't all that terrifying. They just look like balls of snot with teeth and legs. And you're checking all these doors and none of them are unlocked. And it just becomes a frustration point. And then you're checking your map and you're like, red X, red X, red X, red X, red X, red X, red X. And it just continues on and on and on and on and on. And it becomes tiresome.
Yeah.
That is what this game is Silent Hill 3 Locked Door Simulator.
Nearly as good as Dino Crisis Power Plant Simulator. Good God.
You're right. The ratio is so off on this. I mean, later on in the game, there are some rooms where there is nothing to do in them apart from there's enemies, so it's there to try and kill you.
Yeah, and if you take into account the game's generation of supplies, so if you enter certain areas with little health or little ammo, more health and more ammo will show up. So it kind of becomes this game of, if you know where these triggers happen, you can fire off a few bullets to get under that cap, and then you'll get 20 bullets instead of 10. So by firing off 2 bullets, you'll get 20 instead of 10 or none. But then sometimes you have to go into a room that has 3 enemies that you have to kill just to get to the items, and it makes it pointless.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Silent Hill 1 and 2 both did that. So if you walk in with a ton of health, there won't be any health items.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know.
There's
See,
the guide that I'm using actually
I don't really
gives
use
you-
the guns on Silent Hill, so...
The guide that I was using actually gives you a breakdown of how the game calculates everything. It gives it gives a point to everything, and then it compares it against itself in this really intricate algorithm that it tries to explain. And I just went, well, I don't care, because I had 200 bullets at the end for my handgun and 60 shotgun shells. I use the katana almost exclusively.
I used a submachine gun.
You don't say.
I just ran away from everything because you can dodge everything very easily.
The creepers, if they got you cornered, would just pummel the shit out of you, though. The guys with the big-ass arms.
Oh, the closers.
Closers, yeah.
Yeah. No, you could dodge them easy as well.
Well,
You know
yeah,
what?
you could, but if
I
they
was
got
actually-
a hold of you.
I was playing it, and I weirdly found myself using the D-pad rather than the analog stick. It seems easier to control.
Yep.
And I don't know why.
Tank controls, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't necessarily tank control. No, it wasn't tank controls because the forward was always forward for her.
You can kind of swap the controls, though, can't you?
I think so.
From 3D to 2D mode, which makes no sense.
Because I think some of the other ones
It's a
were...
3D game.
I guess now that I'm playing it, I don't really recall. Because the tank control styles never bothered me, where right is always to her right instead of to the right of the screen. I didn't find any issues with the controls.
I thought it took me a while to get back into it, but it was all right. Yeah.
I always forget, because obviously makes you feel like you're playing a Resident Evil game, and majority of the Resident Evil games, to do a quick turnaround, it's just back and square, whereas quick turnaround on this was L1 and R1 together, which I always forgot every single time.
Oh, you know what I kept doing wrong with the controls? Bringing up the menu and the map. They seem like they're on the wrong buttons.
Oh, yeah, select should be the map and triangle should be menu.
Yes, and I kept doing it over and over again. I was like, so annoying.
Yeah.
And you have to use the map so much in this. I mean, I was using a guide this time.
I cannot imagine how much of a ball ache this game would be without a guide.
Well, I enjoyed Silent Hill 1 and 2 without a guide because the exploration wasn't in these huge sprawling areas. It was pretty succinct. Like, you were in a school, you were in a hospital with 3 levels and like 5 or 6 rooms on each level. So it wasn't that hard to kind of figure things out. This, you're in a mall area with hundreds of doors and like 6 branching hallways, which I think is cool that they expanded it and gave you more areas, but they didn't put anything in here.
Which also then turns into a nightmare version of the mall, which completely changes it. So,
And I think-
and then has dead ends as well.
The one thing we always bitched about in the other games is the absurdity of the puzzles, and this game took it to the next level.
oh my god, did it.
The dumbest
crazy.
shit that makes no sense.
I haven't quite got over the burning the pork liver to make a painting disappear. Like, what is that about?
Well, I mean, you needed some sort of flammable substance because the 2 other chemicals you had wouldn't ignite on their
And-
own.
Pork liver is the obvious choice.
Well, for
Only
her
there
to
were-
just be...
If only she'd been in rooms with tables where there was an ample supply of wood.
Or the painting directly in front of her. The thing that drove me nuts in the mall, though, was you get this acorn on one side of the mall, and you
That's
have
a walnut.
Oh, walnut. Yeah, you have to walk all the way to the other side of the mall for the second time to find a testicle vise in a sex shop to crush it.
What?
Yeah, why
Really?
couldn't she just stand on it or something?
Yeah. Oh, the very first puzzle. The very first one was the most obnoxious. You go in, you find the first save point in the mall, and there's a crate. There's a pallet on the floor,
Oh,
and you can
God,
see
yes.
some keys on it. You can see the keys an inch down, and she looks at it and goes, those are too far away to reach.
No,
And-
but she also says the boxes are too heavy to move, and I was like, you lazy bitch.
You could take your shoe off and fish it out. You could lay down and like shove your arm in there, or you could reach through the gap and grab it. But no, you need to go to the other side of the mall to get a hook.
Yeah, coat hanger or something.
Yeah. Oh no, the coat hanger is
Or
for
for the ladder.
the reaching
pull
up to
down a
grab the
ladder, yeah.
ladder.
Alright.
Which is also mental. Like, why would you think I will take apart a wire coat hanger to reach a ladder?
Oh,
You
the
just
other
wouldn't, would you?
the other one that was great was when you ran into the hallway with all the bats.
Oh, they were moths, I think, actually.
And you
Yeah,
mix
moths or
mix
bats
the
or something.
detergent.
Yes, and then you have to get your science head on and combine chemicals to make chlorine gas, which would kill her instantly. To kill evil moths, which will. What about the one where you had to throw the hairdryer in the lake?
What was that about?
I have absolutely no
So
idea.
apparently there was this water passageway where this monster was eating the workers, and one guy left a a note about it. He's like, don't try to cross it, you'll die. And Heather just happens to have a hairdryer, and there just happens to be an outlet next to this underground waterway that she plugs into and throws it in there and kills the monster.
Do you guys know about the extra new game bit that's part of this as well?
No.
So, after you kill the... Obviously, this happened to me with playing the extra new game. You, after you've thrown the hairdryer in the water, you go to go across the bridge across it, and it randomly says, do you want to throw your steel pipe into the water? And then suddenly there's just this like still image of this like woman that looks a bit like an angel without wings holding two pipes, a golden one and a silver one. And then in a really posh voice she's like, oh, did you throw my gold pipe into the water? And you press no, and then she goes, oh, maybe it was my silver pipe. And like, no. And then you get a third one. Oh, perhaps it was this filthy steel pipe that you dropped. And you put yes. And then she gives you the gold pipe. The gold and silver pipes. Which,
Lord.
mean fuck all as well, as far as I can find out.
I mean, I do like that they put some joke shit in there, like the dog ending from 2 or the UFO stuff, but...
I mean, I used the steel pipe pretty exclusively until I got the katana, but the combat in this is janky again.
Oh, yeah.
Really bad. Like, this is why I ended up running from things, because half the time you just get hit. I mean, I know you can block on this one, but getting the timing down was...
Oh, especially when you're trying to fight the insane cancers.
Oh, I didn't fight any of them, I just ran away.
Well, there's a couple towards the end of the game in the church that you have to fight because they're blocking doors, and there's one on either side of you, and they'll basically surround you and just smother you. But they'll start their attack motion, and you have to swing right as they're about to attack to interrupt it, and you have to do that 3 or 4 times in a row, and then they'll fall to the ground, and then rinse, repeat. But if you miss it just once, their attacks are so devastating.
You need your bulletproof vest on, son.
Did you guys wear that?
Machine gun.
Once for the fight with, what's it called, the missionary.
Yeah. Well, I didn't wear it for the missionary because you had to move pretty quick for that.
My guide said wear it, so I wore it.
I wore it for the fight against Leonard.
No, I've just ran away on that fight.
Did you guys find any of the bosses particularly difficult?
I didn't find them difficult, but I was wrestling with the camera most of the time to try and keep them in focus.
That first split worm one, I think I had done in less than a minute. I know Mike had it done in, 15 seconds?
Something like that. Just sit there and hammer it with a submachine gun.
How many times did it get to come out of the wall? Once?
Just that first time. Dead.
Oh,
Amazing.
Dan, going back to what you said before about how frustrating it must be without a guide, the first time I ever played this was without a guide, and my God.
Wow, well done, man.
Killed me. Absolutely killed me. I think there might have been a couple of points where I nipped in just to double check like the solution of a puzzle or something that I wasn't 100% sure, but generally the exploration was completely by myself, marking it off the map and everything, and yeah, honestly, it was... And
Jesus.
I'll bring up, when you get onto about the game clock in a bit, Eric, I'll bring up my old save as well. But yeah, the submachine gun on those bosses, even the missionary, he didn't even get a chance to come near me.
Leonard,
the only one that...
Go ahead.
The only one I had trouble with was on the merry-go-round.
What a stupid boss.
Because
Oh, wait, no, are you talking about the merry-go-round boss or the boss on the merry-go-round?
The boss on the merry-go-round, the Dark Alexa.
You actually fight a merry-go-round in this game.
Do you?
What?
Oh, yeah. So you get on this merry-go-round, and there's one of the horses has a spike driven through its head with a note on it. I don't remember what it says.
Now,
but
bear in mind, this merry-go-round, instead of wooden horses, it's actual real horses, like, butchered up and, like, wrapped with bandages around them and stuff.
Yeah, so after you read that note, it starts to go around, and all the horses go up and down and start spewing venomous gas out of their mouth. And you just have to go and attack these horses bouncing up and down, and there's 12 of them, and it gives you a riddle, like, once 12 becomes 5 or something like that. So you have 54 total revolutions of the merry-go-round to attack this thing and kill all of these horses that aren't moving.
Sounds great.
Stupid boss.
Jesus.
Did you guys find the weird room in the hospital where it kind of had a mirror?
Yeah.
and then it started going weird on the other side of the mirror.
So my guide
strange.
told me that you can make it out of that room. I couldn't and died.
Really?
You can. You just have to wait till a certain point.
So what it said was, you walk in, you see the mirror, you try to get out, and the door is locked, and then like these crazy blood worms start encroaching behind the mirror, and then they come out the sink next to you. And what my guide said is you have to wait for those to hit the door, and then you can get out.
No. Your guide is stupid.
I just
Basically,
kept rattling the doorknob until it let me out.
I did it till I died.
the way to know when you can go to the door is because the entire time you're in front of the mirror, if you move, the reflection will move as well. Eventually, it'll get to a point where the reflection will just stop, and you're still moving, but the reflection stops moving. At that point, the door is open.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when I went out. And did you also go in the room in the hospital where some weird guy rings you with a phone in a locker?
And he starts singing Happy Birthday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bizarre. And then you can find a weird room where he's left your presents.
Yeah, and that based on what you get for presents is based on...
That algorithm again, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got health.
I got a couple bits of health, and that was it. Nothing super fancy.
Well, I was... I won't touch on it now until we sort of get looking at the story. But when we get onto the plot and kind of go through, because I've started to do it now, it's not going to make any sense. But once we start going through the plot and everything, there is actually something I found which does a full plot analysis, and it mentions exactly why he sings "Happy Birthday" to you, the several different ages, and why he leaves presents for you and stuff like that. Which I'll get to when we get to that part of the plot.
Yeah, I mean,
all to be revealed.
I think we can get to that because there's the game. This game itself is one giant fart noise. As a physical game, it sucked. And I hate saying that because I really like Silent Hill, and I was hoping that you were going to be wrong. Like, I've never wanted somebody to be so wrong. But
It's
man,
the only thing that I really liked about it, I thought there was a real step up in facial animation. I thought for the PS2 this looked great.
yeah.
Because it looks like it runs on the same engine as Metal Gear Solid 2 to me. The faces and look very similar and things like that. And then but the voice acting is atrocious.
Well, it was early PS. Oh, not early.
Oh God, yeah.
Mid PS2 voice acting. So
But atrocious.
yeah, pretty shit.
It's so bad.
I don't know if any of you have ever seen. It's part of Eddie Izzard's stand-up where he's comparing English and American drama, theatre and drama, and he's got this one bit where he's like, in an English film, there's just a guy sat in a room arranging matches. Another guy will come and go, oh, sorry, what are you doing? Arranging matches. Oh, and it just reminds me of that. This is all so stunted and just like strange. And the
it's
cadences
like they're not
are so
speaking
weird.
to each other. It's
The cadences are so weird as well. When you first meet Vincent, he goes, "My name's Vincent. Don't forget it, okay?"
okay.
they're just talking about the most stupid nonsense as well.
Well, and she has some of the dumbest dialogue too. She says something really dumb when she's going down the elevator, like, "Oh God, this must be a dream, but I feel like I'm awake." Like, just stupid shit.
I like when just before you fight Leonard when she goes, "Well, you're not a person anyway."
Yeah, she takes this weird switch halfway through the game of being really nervous and scared and unaware of what's happening, and then halfway through, without warning, she's like, "Yeah, well, fuck you." I mean, not that that's what she says, but like that's her demeanor. She just doesn't care. I mean, I understand that kind of explains a little bit in the story, but the game does a shit job of explaining its own story.
Oh yeah, gotcha. But I was playing it the other night, and there was some terrible Heather dialogue, and Hazel just goes, "Did the creators of this game? Have they ever met a teenage girl before?" It's just the shit that she says.
Clearly not.
I don't think they have.
So let's talk about the story. This game is directly affected by the events of Silent Hill 1. Silent Hill 2 really has no bearing on this game aside from the fact that it took place sometime in the 17-year gap between 1 and 3.
And was much better for it.
Yes.
But I liked that, though. When I played Silent Hill 2 and realised it was a completely different, unrelated story, I envisaged that if there was going to be a third one, they'd do it again. You know,
I think it's more about the story of the town affecting somebody's personal psychosis. And, like, this one isn't. It's more about what's going on at Silent Hill.
It is kind of somebody's personal psychosis a little bit because... And this is the one part of the game that I really, really enjoyed because I did not see this coming until Tom ruined it at the beginning. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
Boy, for someone who didn't play the game, he sure knows the plot twist.
Sure know a lot.
So about after you get out of the mall and you go with creepy underpants detective to Silent Hill, there's a great plot dump that basically reveals the fact that Heather is Cheryl.
Oh no!
Isn't Cheryl?
Sure, she's my daughter. Likes to go by the name Heather. She's a little girl.
No, not Heather.
Heather.
Cheryl.
Heather. You seen her? Little girl.
That's why you couldn't find her.
She used to be 9.
That's probably why Harry gets killed, because he's just asking the monster
Whoa,
all this
spoilers!
Whoa!
Good
You always
Lord.
spoil game.
Dan, well, you gotta work up to it.
Yeah, Harry's dead.
Well, not is dead, he dies.
Oh, poor Harry.
Well, the thing is, right, I attempted to play Silent Hill 3 ages and ages and ages ago, and I think I might have played it for about 10, 15 minutes, so when I actually went to go complete it again, I already knew about her being Cheryl. Well, not Cheryl, but knew her being Harry's daughter, because the first ever time I went to go play it, where I literally played it for a few moments,
Have you seen her?
the girl I was dating at the time happened to look into it, happened to look online, and literally as I was booting it up, she goes, "Oh, you play as Harry's daughter from the first one."
Oh. So
Have you seen her?
I'm gonna do my
Guys
best
are
to
cunts.
explain who Cheryl / Heather / Alessa are real quick. So Dahlia Gillespie from the first game, which was the occult leader that Harry was battling, gave birth to a little girl named Alessa, and Alessa was meant to be the vessel for which their god was going to be born. So they kept her shackled and in a basement in a hospital for years, and that's why there's so many hospital references in Silent Hill. Because
Well, you've got it a little bit mixed up there. The original Alessa was Dahlia's daughter. It was way before Harry was there. It was Dahlia's daughter.
Yeah, that's what I was
basically
saying.
Cool. You said that the thing that Harry beat.
no,
gave
Harry
birth to-
Harry was fighting against Dahlia,
What?
wasn't he?
No. So basically, the cult wanted to birth this new god, and they used Dahlia's daughter, who was Alessa. Alessa was part of the cult as well as a little child, and then when she was 7 or 8 years old, it's never known whether it was intentional or not, but Dahlia set fire to the house that Alessa was in, and Alessa basically was in a completely burnt state, and she was kept alive because of
That's right. Okay.
yeah,
And
is it
during that
Samael,
time-
the boss?
Yeah, and during that time in the fire, half of her soul was killed and recreated as an infant on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And
That's
as
right.
Harry and his wife were leaving Silent Hill from vacation, they found this baby on the side of the road, and since they couldn't have children of their own, adopted this gutter baby.
Essentially,
raised it as their own.
the reason why the baby ends up split and becoming Cheryl is because it's the good parts of Alessa not wanting basically to birth the god. So she knows that if she splits herself into two, as long as the two can't meet, she can't be the vessel for the god.
But then as Cheryl starts getting older, she starts asking her dad to go back to Silent Hill, like this essence inside of her is awakening and drawing her back to Silent Hill. So on the trip back, the visage in the road that causes the accident is actually Alessa, and when Harry wakes up, Cheryl is gone, and that's why you're looking for Cheryl.
Have you seen her?
But then
She's my daughter.
the thing I'm confused about, Mike,
Go on.
How does so Cheryl? Heather is Cheryl. Cheryl becomes Heather.
Mm-hmm.
So
what are you confused about?
So at the end of the game, let me just make sure I have this straight. At the end of Silent Hill 1,
Yep.
Harry finds Cheryl.
Mm-hmm.
They move to Portland.
Yep.
And apparently Harry is involved in some sort of murder trial.
Yeah, basically there was some occult fan that ended up being shot by Harry.
So they assume pseudonyms of, I don't know what Harry took on, but Cheryl took on the name Heather.
Yes.
And then for the rest of the time, Heather has to spend her time telling Harry to stop calling her Cheryl, because he's just wandering around going, "Have you seen her? She's called Cheryl."
Dad, I'm right here.
I was just thinking while you were talking about the cult thing, like, how did they get people into this cult? Do they have, like, posters which say, like, "Must love monsters," and setting up really elaborate puzzles?
Well, the thing is, the first Silent Hill, the reason why there's the other world, like the Dark World, that is basically Alessa trying to stop Dahlia from finding her, because Alessa doesn't want Dahlia to find her to basically complete to make it to the god.
The other world, or the reverse world, is a physical manifestation of the torture and pain that she suffered in the basement of the hospital.
Yes.
That's why there's a lot of hospital references.
Yeah, that's correct.
And you'll
why
see
a lot of it's burnt and stuff like that.
in Silent Hill 1 and 3, you actually go into the room where Alessa was held.
Yes, that's correct. So then at the end of Silent Hill 1, as you said, he gets another baby, doesn't he? So he fights... Is it Samael? I can't remember how you pronounce it. Because it's not pronounced... They don't say it in Silent Hill 3. It's only written down.
Yeah.
Looks like Samuel, but elongated.
Yeah, Samuel.
Yeah.
And that explains the age difference between Cheryl and Heather.
What do you mean, sorry?
So Cheryl at this time was 7.
Mm-hmm.
And
Heather's
Between
17.
there are
17 years,
records.
right?
There are records. I think it was Leonard or somebody. No, detective. Whatever his nuts, underpants.
Detective Underpants.
He had a record. He had a note of, well, Cheryl should be 24, but Heather only looks like she's 17.
Yeah, because she is only 17 because he got a new baby.
Who just picks up random babies on the side of the road and like how he must not have loved Cheryl that much. He's like, well, guess she's dead. Oh, a new baby.
Well, this actually going back to what I said before.
The dog from Silent Hill 2 came along and said, "Just take this." That's Cheryl. Shut up.
Well, going back to what I said before about the phone call with the birthday, and he says like 3 different ages. The 3 different ages are the age Cheryl should be,
Which is 24.
Yeah. Then there's the age that Alessa would be, because obviously Alessa was 8, then created Cheryl as a baby. So that would add another 8 years onto that. And then I think he also mentions Heather's actual age, doesn't he? Which is 17.
I think he says 31 as well.
But then he also, which would have been
Alessa's age.
Alessa's real age.
Oh, okay.
But then he also says there's a spot later in the reverse hospital, and this part was really cool when the reverse world got really fuzzy and you couldn't really see anything. It was really grainy and fuzzy. Like Heather was really clear, but like the walls and everything just kind of were this really porous texture that you couldn't see. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what part it was in, but if you had done the phone call thing down in the basement, there'd be something outside the birthday room. It would say happy first birthday or something like that. So there's also a reference to a first birthday.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Which I'm not sure on that one.
I wonder who the first birthday is.
Probably the
So
dog.
Heather isn't actually Cheryl, but she's a recreation of the soul of Cheryl / half of Alessa.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so confused, guys.
Yeah.
Look at that character relation chart that I sent you, Dan, in WhatsApp.
Do I have to? I just want to forget about this game, Eric, to be honest.
Basically, the short version is at the end of Silent Hill 1, he ends up with another baby that's half of Alessa's spirit, and Alessa is the one that they wanted to birth a god out of years and years ago, who ended up being burnt.
And at the end of this game,
What?
when Heather faces off against, what's her name?
Claudia?
Claudia, yeah. She just vomits out the god. And then Claudia's like, I'll eat that.
Well, the thing is,
like a true American.
Yeah, just chows down on it.
Waste not, want not.
Yeah.
well, Claudia was
You're
the
going to
real.
eat that?
Are you gonna eat that?
Get some mustard on it.
Sauerkraut.
So Claudia was, I'm led to believe, was Alessa's childhood friend
Yes.
originally, and she was
Claudia
part of the
looked
cult
like
as well.
she was like 60.
Oh yeah, she looked rough,
Time
man.
has not been kind to her.
I thought she looked like an elf from Lord of the Rings.
And
I kept picturing Legolas all the time.
Claudia is the one who hires Detective Underpants to look for Heather.
Detective Underpants. So why is Claudia's dad a demon?
Well, he was one of the occult worshippers. He was a knight of the Sacred Seal. Which the Sacred Seal is the Metatron.
No. The
Megatron.
Yes, Megatron.
What the hell's a Megatron?
Yeah. So the seal that you see for the save point is the seal of the Metatron, and they created the Metatron.
Isn't Metatron off Undertale?
I think it is.
It's the robot of Undertale.
Hold on. I need to find... There's a spot in this guide that talks about the Metatron and the importance of it, but at the end of the game, Claudia basically reveals that the Metatron is worthless, so then you have 10 seconds to open your inventory and use the pendant that your dad gave you.
Which is full of a red fluid from the first game that I can't remember what it's called, that basically can stop the god being born. And I can't for the life of me remember what it was called.
It's probably Terps or something.
I'll go with Terps. White Spirit.
To get rid of this god, combine Terps and White Spirit with some pork liver and set fire.
Oh dear. But essentially, the thing that annoys me with Claudia and her relationship with Heather is Claudia wants Heather back at Silent Hill, because you don't actually start at Silent Hill in this game. It's only about halfway through you actually go to Silent Hill.
And I felt really cheated by that, not to sidetrack that, but the hospital was reused, the town was reused, the Toluca Park was reused.
Mm-hmm.
Just straight out of Silent Hill 2.
Yep. And the very first time you see Claudia, you don't really get a grasp of what completely she's on about. But Heather's like, oh, you did this. You made everyone disappear, and there's all the monsters here and stuff. And Heather's hatred for her really escalates all of a sudden. For ages. Just
Is that your package?
That's the package at the door. Bear with me. I'll be back in a moment.
Oh, man, let's listen to this exchange. I'm trying to find what the seal of the Metatron symbolizes. I know it's in that guide that I'd sent you guys, but I can't. There's a lot of words there, and I don't read words fast. You just hear the cupboard creak. Thank you.
And I'm back.
Well done, Mike.
Amazon Guy is now part of the show.
Yeah. Anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, Heather's hatred for Claudia, like, instantly is just rabid. Like, she instantly just detests her.
Well, what's interesting is as you go through this game, the soul of Alessa within Heather starts to awaken. And that's why all of this other shit starts happening, because Alessa understands it's probably for the best that Heather dies. And they actually make a statement about that towards the end.
Who's Alessa again?
Alessa is the original daughter that was birthed by the occult to give birth to the god. So they needed.
So is she in this one?
She was the fourth clone of Big Boss.
Ah.
Yes.
Alessa Snake.
Dan.
I thought the fourth clone was Solid Snack.
Dan.
Solid Snack.
It goes Dahlia, who's the mom. It goes Alessa. Then Alessa kind of dies and splits into two and remains half Alessa, and then the other half becomes Cheryl.
You could say she's a lesser person.
Oh dear, Michael.
Then Cheryl dies and becomes Heather.
What? Cheryl becomes Cheryl.
Dude, you could explain it to me a million times. This does still not make sense.
Look at the chart I sent you. It will make sense.
I don't want to.
You can only lead a horse to water. Go buy a Switch.
But you can't put them on a merry-go-round.
One of those camp horses again.
Yeah. But no, later in the game, they actually make a reference to the fact that Heather would... It'd probably be best for the world if Heather died. And that's
Who's
why...
Heather again?
Oh, my God. I'm going to kill you.
I'm just saying what everybody's thinking.
She's the girl you're playing.
Oh, right, okay.
Who's half a less a part Cheryl. Whose dad was Harry and is now dead.
And all woman.
Ooh, yeah. But how sad was that, though, when you walk in and discover that Harry Mason had been murdered?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That was real sad.
I didn't believe it really happened because half the stuff on Silent Hill doesn't really happen. So... I just thought he would pop back at some point.
Pinky's up!
Pinky's up!
Pinky's up!
Good Lord, Tom. Move to a safer neighborhood.
Tom, do you literally live in the ghetto?
Yeah, of course I do.
What about the scene later in the game after Detective Underpants hurts his legs and he's sitting there and kind of... He's philosophizing about things, and as Heather walks away, he pulls a gun on her.
Yeah, well, he suddenly realizes maybe it might be better if she's dead.
Because he was hired by the occult to find her, to bring her back so they could birth forth the god. And then he's starting to realize, well, maybe that's a shit idea.
Well, he changes
They're not
his...
a very good cult if they need Detective Underpants.
It's when Harry dies that he changes his tune, because Claudia has the missionary kill Harry because she wants Heather to basically be full of hate and to get her to go to Silent Hill.
Because in order to create this god, it feeds off of hatred and fear.
Yes.
Would a postcard not have sufficed?
Come to Silent Hill.
It sounds like a very elaborate plot.
It is, and it isn't, I guess.
I don't know. I'll still stand by it. The game is shit. I still really like the story behind Silent Hill. And now that I've taken the time to read through some plot analysis and understand the hierarchy of the characters and how they interconnect, I still really like it.
No.
Do you want me to explain who Alessa is again?
Who's Cheryl again?
Little girl, black hair. She's my daughter. You seen her?
Have you seen her?
She came this way.
And who's So Light Snack? I'm not sure.
So like snack.
I imagine Dan just gets to work every day. What do I do here? What? Who are you?
What do you mean I don't work here?
Who's Crystal?
Have you seen Cheryl? Or Heather? I'm not sure.
What about the final boss?
Shit.
Really stupidly easy.
It's shit. So to get story-wise, you end up at the final boss because basically Claudia and Heather end up in front of each other. She thinks she's going to use the Megatron. Megatron doesn't work. As we said before, Heather then
doesn't work.
Heather takes that red stuff from a pendant and she coughs up what essentially is a fetus.
Which doesn't make sense because human anatomy, your uterus isn't connected to your stomach and you can't just cough shit out of your uterus.
Yeah, that really
It would have been better
too.
for her to squat down on the ground and be like,
oh, pooped him.
Sorry, that got a little graphic.
Yeah, but true. No, it bothered me as well. Yeah, she just coughs up a fetus.
Maybe she has a woolly vulva. Willy vulva.
A woolly
Willy
one.
Vulva again.
Woolly willy vulva.
Ugh.
Anyway, but as you said earlier, yeah, then Claudia, who's just driven mad by wanting the god to be reborn, like you said before, swallows it. Swallows the fetus.
Snack.
Tasty.
It didn't look like a
Snack.
fetus.
No, it didn't look like one, I guess, but it essentially was one.
And then she turns into... Well, no, this creature busts through the floor and pulls her down, kind of like the shark in Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, well, I might be pronouncing it wrong, but that's Valtriel, who you see a few times throughout the game. He's the one who, like, when you're on the lifts and stuff, he's there.
Yeah, he's like turning the knobs and shit.
Yeah, so I did a little bit of research on him, and it's all complicated, and a lot of it's guesswork and people just presuming things. But he's seen as like kind of the caretaker of the monster world of Silent Hill. He mops the floors and stuff.
He's like the curator of hate or fate, or I can't remember the term I read.
But you see one point where if you look past, you're in this corridor. If you look to the right, he's there hanging up a nurse, and just little things like that. You see, it's quite easy to miss him, but there's little
Seems
areas.
Like a good guy though. Like he's just keeping things tidy.
Yeah, but he also, when you end up going down into the hole that Claudia went down into after she had like fetus breakfast, he ends up
Kellogg's fetus breakfast.
He kind of like covers her up slightly, and then she turns into a god, doesn't he? If I remember rightly, likes to be a dead body. You're right there.
Top it off with
Sometimes,
some
guys,
hand-baked beans.
There's no filter to this show.
This is easily the most offensive show in recent memory.
Sorry.
Fetus breakfast.
You know, we got a review last week saying that we talk random shite for ages and don't talk about games.
Aw.
Oh, I didn't know we got a new review.
I've just found it, yeah.
Was it 1 out of 5 stars? It was shit.
It was.
Oh,
Oh no.
fuckers.
So we need a better one, please.
We talk enough games. Anyway, we'll get to that shit later.
But anyway, I kill the boss, and then there's one of 3 endings in this one. There's only 3.
Huh.
One is basically she goes back out to see Douglas. She pretends that she's possessed and then tricks him. Like, she goes towards him with a knife, and he's like, "Oh shit, son!" And then she just starts laughing at him. And then they have a little exchange about her going by her real name again, and that he asks, "Oh, you're gonna go to back to your natural hair color as well?" And she's like, "Oh, but don't blondes have more fun?"
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. Awful.
Wow.
It's such an awkward exchange because he's like, what, in his 50s?
I mean, yeah.
She ruffles through her hair going, "Don't blondes have more fun?"
She just loves his boxer shorts, man.
And
The second ending sees Douglas killed by Heather.
yes.
Douglas is who?
I don't know.
Detective Underpants.
Is he part of Cheryl or what? I'm not sure.
And then the third ending, which I looked up, because to get the third ending, you have to unlock the Heather beam, and then you have to kill like hundreds and hundreds of enemies through multiple playthroughs to get it. For some reason, it's in like a comic strip kind of cartoon drawn, and basically Heather, it's got full dialogue over it, even though it's not animated. But Heather basically goes home, and there's Harry and James from the first 2 games, and some aliens sat eating at a table in the kitchen. And she's like, "Hi, Dad, I'm home." And then basically she explains that she's been to Silent Hill and shit's gone down. Harry and the aliens get angry. Harry then drop kicks James for some reason. And then they all get on the spacecraft, and then the spacecraft goes over to Silent Hill and blows it up.
Wow.
That sounds like a good way to wrap
Yeah.
up.
Jesus. Silly Silent Hill.
Let's talk about the game clock for a second, because that fucking thing is totally wrong. It says I beat the game in 3 hours and 4 minutes. However, my last night of playing it, I swear I played for 3.5 hours, and that was the 3rd night I'd put in.
Yeah, see, mine came in at 3 hours, and I definitely would have flown through it quicker than you did, because
I'm sure I've done more than 2 hours as well. My clock was about 2 hours.
So I wonder if the game clock isn't going when you're in the menu or looking at the map or during cutscenes or transitions or loading screens.
Well, see, I had the results from my last playthrough on my memory card, like I said, and it reckoned I did it in like 5 hours. and I did it without a guide, and I can't see me doing that game in 5 hours.
Like, you think that's too short or too long?
Yeah, too short. No, too short. I must have spent more time in it than 5 hours.
Yeah, because Silent Hill 2
like-
took me about 6.
Yeah, twiddling all those fucking doorknobs.
Should have had a little meter in there for how many doorknobs you rattled.
Yeah.
You get a special doorknob weapon if you keep going.
Rattleometer.
How long did it take you this time, Mike? 3 hours?
3 hours. It was 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Took me 3:04. Dan didn't finish, and Tom gets the ultimate shit star.
Ooh. I do.
To be fair, the guy doesn't have a PS2.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I have
matter.
it.
More importantly, though, this year I played on normal.
Yay.
Yeah. Because it's not scary.
Well, maybe you should have played it on easy, and you would have finished it.
Oh, shut up.
Oh man, the guide I was using, it had because you choose the action level, easy, normal, or hard, and you can also choose the riddle level. Some of the it had the solutions to the hard riddles as well. Jesus Christ, some of those are fucking stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They went on for like paragraphs after paragraphs in the guide.
Oh, because you started using that same guide as me, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And there's a couple where like you'd literally have to know the story of some Shakespeare. Like you would physically have to know that story through and through to actually figure it out.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no thanks. Not for me.
Or you could just put the books on the order with the number. Put the books on the shelf in the order with the numbers.
Oh no, it's a bit later on.
Dumb puzzle.
This is later on.
Also, did you guys spot the Metal Gear Easter egg?
I want to say I did. Is that the one with the silencer?
Yeah. So
And the guy in the wall?
Yeah, the guy in the wall. If you notice,
yeah.
he's in basically. Its uniform's supposed to look like it's supposed to be solid snake. Apparently,
Can you put the silencer on the pistol?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, but it reduces its
Yeah,
damage.
that's right. Distance and power.
I think you could put it on the submachine gun, but I didn't bother.
Well, yeah, you have unlimited ammo. So did you kill everything?
Nah, most things I did, but if I could just run past it, it was quicker to run past it.
The only things I had problems running past were the slurpers because they're quick. But other than that, easy peasy.
Overall,
Shit. I mean, I knew it was going in. I wasn't looking forward to playing this.
absolute waste of time. I wanted to give it a fair shake, but one out of 5, it was shit.
Now, this is going to astound you. There are people that exist that believe that this is better than Silent Hill 2.
Those people
should
are
be
wrong.
hung by their toenails.
See, I'd heard about that too.
There is
I'd
no
heard
way.
that- I'd also heard that it was much scarier than Silent Hill 2.
Nope.
Not a damn chance.
No, yeah.
Because you don't have the threat of Pyramid Head. So, he could come from nowhere in Silent Hill 2. There's nothing like that
Yeah.
in this
It didn't
one.
actually
It's
start
just-
to get unnerving until the reverse world of the hospital, which was well over halfway into the game.
Yeah.
That didn't bother me, Eric. I just found it very similar to Silent Hill 2 again. Because that had a nightmare hospital too.
Well, the first one did as well. They all did. In fact, the one in Silent Hill 3 is the same hospital as Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, I knew it was the same layout.
I haven't played the first two in a long time. I know the first one had, whenever you went into the other world, there was always the air raid sirens. Was that in 2
Yeah.
as well?
No.
No.
So I can't remember. Oh, because obviously my memory's skewed of it then, because I thought that was in 2 as well.
No,
And in this one, when you
From
go
what-
into the other world, it just felt really lacking because you didn't have that ambience.
The only thing I remember in Silent Hill 2 when you went into the other world was the sounds of like metal against metal.
yeah,
Like the clanging and the... Oh, it's so
the ambient.
eerie.
I think what do we call it? 3D audio, where things would just randomly generate, so your playthroughs are never the same. Like sometimes you'd hear children laughing or pigs squealing, things like that.
Yeah.
Just the overall atmosphere of 2 was way scarier.
Yeah.
This one, did you notice when you were in the underground passage, like you'd go down a set of stairs and you'd be in the reverse world, and you'd come back up and you'd be in the normal?
No.
Probably when I played it the first time.
Maybe it could have just been that they... Yeah, no, because some of the the tracks had grates over them, so I don't know if it was just the way that level had changed, or if it was full reverse. It might not have been full reverse.
I'm not sure. But going back to what you said about the sounds of metal on the second one, believe it or not, they actually recorded actual dentist drills and things like that to make that soundtrack.
Yeah.
Which I thought was so fucking
that.
cool. One little touch I did like on Silent Hill 3, there's a bit where you're on a train and the train's moving. Did you guys try and go back a carriage?
Yeah, it's disappeared.
Yeah, every time you go forward a carriage, when you go back, you're basically, the carriage behind you's gone. You're just outside. I thought that was cool. In a game full of shit, it was a shiny beacon. Ooh.
I didn't like it. I really did not enjoy my time with this game.
Nope.
I will never play it again.
£6 wasted.
Well, you took one for the team, Dan.
I did.
Nice job. Well done.
Thank you.
You shouldn't have bought it. Bought a Switch instead.
Yeah.
We would have forgiven you. But then if you do buy a Switch, then you have to buy a Pro Controller and you have to buy Mario, so you're probably about £500 into it.
I'm not buying a Pro Controller.
Oh, God. Don't even get me started on you.
I'm split on this. The Pro Controller is amazing, but I don't hate the grips as much as Eric does.
Oh,
It's
grips.
playable.
So, surely buying the console with the Joy-Cons is the main hook of the console, so why then change that control scheme?
Breath of the Wild with the Pro Controller is the best way to play it.
I agree with that. Definitely agree with that. But it is playable putting the grips onto the grip.
It is.
The Joy-Cons onto the grip.
Yeah. I played the first few hours of Zelda with the Joy-Cons and it was totally fine. But the Pro Controller does add extra to it.
It's
You're
just one of the
missing out,
best
though.
controllers I've ever used.
I'm still more of a PS4 controller person, to be honest.
Well, I don't think the PS4 controller will work.
I just mean overall.
Guys, should we take some questions?
Yes.
All right. On Facebook, Hazel May Tyson. Who the fuck is that?
Don't know. I don't recognize the name.
She wants to know if Tom saw Toronto Batman. Well, I think we already covered that.
No, just the place he was.
Maddie Hallmark. How did any of you keep playing Silent Hill 3 once Mario came out?
You guys already finished it, hadn't you?
Yeah, I made sure I was done Thursday night. Because I would not have finished it. Mark Marcheski, what is the best evil rabbit in video games you can recall?
Ones that fart.
What?
The rabbits.
Rabbit
Bastards.
pie farts.
God.
I think he's asking because this game at the beginning has a big pink bunny that's covered in blood.
Yeah, they're really iconic. Before I played Silent Hill 3, it had been out for years already, and there's loads of merchandise with the bunnies, and they're always used in like fan art and things like that, and people make such a big deal of them. When I played the game and realised they're just basically background, I was really underwhelmed.
Yeah, for a very small portion of the game.
Yeah, because they're in the amusement park bit.
I would say the raving rabbits.
They are
And they're not really scary.
I can't really think of many rabbits in games apart from Cream the rabbit from Sonic.
No.
And because I've just Googled it, by Bianca from Spyro Year of the Dragon, who is an apprentice magician who is a villain.
Doesn't sound scary, though.
Not at all. Santos Lopez wants us to talk about the straddling contest. How many entries do we get? Does degree of difficulty include jumping fences to straddle things we're not supposed to? Let me tell you what!
Not the competition voice.
No, I won't. So everybody only gets one entry this time, regardless of whether or not you are a Patreon supporter, because we are not entering you for the draw. You are actually competing on your ability to straddle. So everybody just gets one flat entry. We will do a show where we evaluate and we all vote on who we think is the best. And we will decide the winner ourselves. So you must play to your audience, which is us. Degree of difficulty would mean how hard was it actually to straddle. So the 10-year-old at Niagara Falls probably would have gotten a high degree of difficulty, but he would have lost for failing the straddle.
Just please don't actively go in places you're not meant to.
Yeah, don't put yourself in danger, please. But if you do, it'd be sweet.
I've just
If you can't
realised,
say that, then say that.
going off on the competition tangent, we've not actually announced the competition on the show yet.
Yeah, we did.
But you said we're probably going to do it. But
Oh, yeah, well, this is
Don't
official now.
yeah.
We are giving away an SNES Classic. North American
Yay.
edition.
Boo.
So, one side note that I wanted to point out, I think Zach Foley posted it, was that he's still going to compete, but he already has an SNES. So, you can still compete, but if you're kind of that same mind where you still want to submit something, but you already have one, we kind of want this to go to somebody who doesn't have one. So, be conscious of that. Like, still compete, but,
That's new.
if you have one, let us know, because we'd like to give this to somebody who doesn't have one.
And where do they need to go to enter said competition?
You must go to facebook.com, check our pinned post. That is important. I know it doesn't show up for a lot of people on the mobile app, but you have to check the pinned post and put your entries in the comments of that post. If they get put anywhere else, we may miss them. Even if we see them and respond to them, we may forget about it when that time comes. You must post it in the comments of the pinned official contest post.
And whereabouts on Facebook is that?
Facebook.com/groups/Factory Seal Podcast.
Also, Eric, have you seen Cheryl?
No.
Who's that?
In regard to a straddle, so I think we should talk quickly about what we're going to judge upon. Because we had one person enter some pictures, and Mike, I think you pointed out the fact that it wasn't really a straddle.
No, it was not.
between the
Disqualified!
Duh, nice effort, but it looked like a really proper sit.
Pinkies up!
Good Lord, Tom.
I wonder how many there's been now in the last 2 hours.
I think that's about 7.
Yeah.
I love it. Makes me feel alive.
So what I'm gonna be looking for is like actual straddle. Is something between your legs? Do you have good form, both feet off the ground? Because we gave Dan incessant shit for years on his kangaroo straddle.
Yeah,
I redeemed myself with my gorilla.
You did.
he did.
One hand up, stoic look. That's how you'll get my vote. The stoic look. The deadpan serious, like, look at me. Got something between my legs. But framing of the shot, too. For example, look at the Eiffel Tower picture that I straddled. I don't think Tom shared his.
Oh, no, not yet.
Like, that would not have been as majestic had it just been a picture of me straddling with the legs of the Eiffel Tower in the back.
No. Definitely not.
It has to be meticulously planned.
It has to be. We spent a while planning that.
And we took like 7 or
about-
8 different shots.
Yeah.
So do we want to say that if they want to explain the difficulty of the straddle, like what they had to do to get it, should we take that into account? Because, Tom, you and I had to like wait for traffic to clear. You had to stand in the middle of a busy road.
Yeah. There was risk involved.
And there were like spikes.
Tom just in the middle of the traffic.
There were spikes shooting into the butthole.
Yeah. Anytime I look at those pictures of Eric or myself straddling the Eiffel Tower, I think of those railings up my arse.
Yeah.
And remember how good it is.
Oh, yeah. I think if you're going to post the straddling pic, chuck a comment in there of your journey on how you got there.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, why
bonus
not?
points for journeys.
Yes.
Journey. What do you guys think would be a good thing to look for as well?
I just look for proper form in a straddle.
Legs higher than just parallel.
I'm thinking the size of the thing. Like Eric's moose straddle has always impressed me greatly.
That was difficult. And it's
Oh,
a deer,
yeah.
by the way.
A large
yes.
monument.
I mean, for example, look at the double straddle that Tom and I did on the Canon. Like I could have just had we both could have just had our legs straight down, but no, lean back, legs up.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
so good I missed that
Oh,
one.
me
the
too.
lean back and the legs up.
I mean, that's
Adds to
technically a triple straddle because we have the shadow straddle too.
Yeah,
We need to reunite next year, guys, and do it properly.
yeah.
I probably won't be living in Lincoln then.
Well, we can take a road trip.
We're to go trip
Just
back
to visit the
that
cannon.
Where are you going, Mike? Where are you going?
We're moving to Sheffield next year, hopefully.
Ooh, you sure you don't want to come to the US of A?
Dunno, hire me.
Okay.
Sheffield.
I tell you what, I am really looking forward to seeing what some people pull out for this, especially
Yeah.
Chad Hager.
Oh, the arcade machine?
Yeah. Still one of the funniest pictures that's ever been posted on our Facebook group, aside from Matt Ernie.
I don't know. I'm quite partial to Matt Ernie.
I mean, aside from almost full frontal male nudity, Chad Hager takes the cake with his arcade straddle.
Yes.
So, yeah, we are going to be selecting the winner for that. I mean, you have about a month to do this. So our next show... Our next show is on the 12th, but Mike will be gone. Right?
Yeah, I'll be on my honeymoon.
Okay, so we're doing Spyro for that show.
That's correct.
Yeah. And then we're going to do on the 26th of November, that Sunday, we will do the contest show. And we're going to be doing Mickey Castle of Illusion and World of Illusion.
Oh, yes. Great choices.
So that's the next month at a glance.
Are we playing the first Spyro?
Yes.
I think so, yeah, because we can get that on PSN.
Oh,
Which
Vita.
which I just learned. So, Tom, when you go into the Vita store, you can't always find those PS1 classic games. Apparently,
Yeah.
if you download it on your PS3 and then USB cable it to the Vita, it'll work.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you could do that. I know
Yeah.
you could transfer them like that, but not that you had to do it that way.
Because I thought it had to specifically list Vita in there to have the Vita support.
Interesting.
So I'm going to give it a shot. Otherwise, I'll have wasted $6.
Yeah, let me know.
Will do. Guys.
Sorry to change the subject. I've just realised we missed a question out.
Did we?
Yeah, from the living meme himself, Mr. Dan C. Gilbert.
Did he just post it?
No, it was like one of the first ones. He put, in your opinion, is it regarding Silent Hill 3, in your opinion, is there anything they could fix in the game to make it not shite, or would it require a complete remake?
I think we kind of addressed this at the beginning of chatting about it, though. I would say not have made it directly tie into the other game, because that kind of held them back.
I don't think anything will save it.
It's just genuinely shit. The game at its core is garbage. There it is. I don't think they could have saved it.
Nah. How are you guys going to be without me? You've had me for so
Just-
long now.
Just
You've had me
fine.
for so long, I've not missed a show.
I'm just putting the ignition in that bus, mate.
Oh, man.
Babe, babe.
Mike doesn't know what the show absence bus feels like.
Nope.
He does, doesn't he?
No, not yet.
No, he's never missed one.
Beep, beep.
Babe, big
Babe,
old bus
babe.
go through. Clip, clop.
You're so used to me now.
It's like you're thrown under the horse.
That's a. I can't really get into that joke.
Okay,
I thought you were there for that.
I was.
Oh, well then you must
Other
have.
people who listen to this show, which is not just us,
Hmm.
will not know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. Kind of like the guy in our latest review. Ooh.
Oh
So good.
dear.
I just read that. Whoops.
Well, to address it, I mean, it says it's a lot of inside jokes. Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point of the show. We're 145 episodes into this. We're gonna have inside jokes.
And we have been through this a million times before. A lot of people who listen to the show like our random BS for an hour.
Yeah.
So In fact, it often gets referenced in reviews and things as one of the endearing things about the show. But
I guess I
mean,
could.
You can't be everybody's cup of tea.
No, I guess
so-
I can understand why if you were looking for a show that was like, I want to listen to something about video games, not people dicking around in London with cups of tea in their pinkies and Jolly Ranchers. But I get it. Criticism noted.
But if you do like us, go on and give us a review.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, need to balance it out now. After that one.
Exactly.
I mean, I kind of like how we're either, a love us or hate us type thing.
Like
Like
the
Marmite.
Marmite.
Yeah. Because the people that love us really like us.
we think.
And the people that hate us are like, 1 star.
It was shit.
Yeah. So, leave us a review if you can. That'd be awesome. We would love you long time. Anything else, guys, before we wrap it up for the week?
Bait, bait.
Bait, back to the 2-week schedule.
Got something I could think of.
It's on the tip of me tongue.
I wonder what it is.
Who's it
Tune
regarding?
Tune in next show for the answer. Eric,
Yeah.
you're an idiot.